everyone, welcome to this course on Essentials of Generative AI, Prompt Engineering and ChatGPT by Simplilearn. Today, I'm really excited to have you here as we dive into some super interesting and useful topics. Now, whether you're just starting out or already familiar with AI, this course will help you understand the basics and the more advanced aspect of working with generative AI and prompt engineering. Now, here's what we'll be covering. First, we'll kick things off by talking about generative AI, what it is, how it has evolved over time, and how it's used today. We'll also introduce you to some generative AI applications and tools that are making a real impact in various industries. Next, we'll be exploring prompt engineering, the art of crafting the perfect prompts to get the best results from AI. We'll also break down the principles of prompt engineering and dive into advanced prompting techniques so you can start optimizing your prompts to get exactly what you need. Then, we'll also have a look at the RATCOP framework, a helpful method for structuring your prompts for maximum effectiveness. Next, we'll also dig deeper into the components of effective prompt and discuss the difference between generic versus engineered prompt, plus tips for model optimization techniques to make your AI even smarter. Also, just a quick information, if you're interested in mastering the future of technology, then the professional certificate course in generative AI and machine learning is the perfect opportunity for you. This is offered in collaboration with ENICT Academy, IT Kanpur. It's an 11-month live and interactive program providing you hands-on expertise on cutting-edge areas like generative AI, machine learning, and tools like ChatGPT, DALL-E 2, and Hugging Face. You'll gain practical experience through 15 plus projects, integrated labs, and live masterclasses delivered by esteemed IT Kanpur faculty. Alongside, you'll be earning prestigious certificate from IT Kanpur. You'll also receive official Microsoft badges for Azure AI courses and career support through Simplilearn's Job Assist program. So what are you waiting for? Hurry up and enroll now. You can find the course link below. But before we get into the topic, let's start with a quick quiz to test your existing knowledge. What is the main purpose of generative AI? Your options are to create new content or ideas, to sort and organize data, to search the internet, or to store information. Let me know your answers in the comment section below.
Now we are getting started with this. Getting started with Jenny, and we will have to get into details of a lot of things over here. And yes, what you will study over here ultimately in this entire class are these following things if you see in. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to understand applications of Gen AI, create prompts to communicate effectively, Gen AI to create personalized document, and the powerful GPTs like Write for Me, Canva, Designer, Consensus, Universal Primer, etc. Kindly go through this. Now, if you see over here, let me ask you a very simple question. Can anyone tell me when do you think the journey of AI actually began? Early 2000s or way earlier? Just a wild guess. The journey actually began somewhere in the year 1950. Yes, much before most of us were even born. So the timeline over here showed how we moved step by step from the early foundations of AI to today's generative AI. So in 1950, you see, we have Turing test, right? So what is this Turing test? Let me tell you that ChatGPT also had to pass this Turing test to be called itself as intelligent. So this Turing test was invented by person Alan Turing, and the test basically focuses on asking question, and that question is, can a machine's responses fool a human into thinking it's another human? This was the philosophical birth of AI. So today, when you chat with a customer support bot, if you can't immediately figure out it's a bot, then that is a Turing test in action. Then in 1966, Eliza chatbot came into picture. This was built by Joseph Weizenbaum, and it basically simulated a therapist by reflecting users' statement back at them. It was primitive, to be very honest, and it gave the first glimpse of machine human conversations. So, yes, even in the 60s, people were already arguing with the bots, even in 60s. Then in 1980, so in 1980s, neural networks came into picture. They are inspired by the human brains. So researchers could actually build the networks that could learn the pattern. That's exactly what we covered in our previous course. They were simple as compared to what we did study today. And they did set the stage for deep learning. Then in 1997, LSTM came into picture, long short term memory. They solved a major problem, machines which were forgetting information too quickly. So LSTMs allowed machines to remember sequences like understanding sentences in natural language. You can think of predictive text on your phone. Early LSTM models powered that capability. Yes, in 2014, the GRUs came, right? They actually made the sequence models more efficient. But the real breakthrough was the attention mechanism, which allowed the models to focus on what is more relevant in a sentence. So, example, if I say over here that the cat sat on the mat because it was tired. So, attention helps the model know that it refers to the cat, not the mat. Then in 2017, Transformers came into picture, which were a game changer till today. So it was basically, it could handle the parallel processing, long range dependencies in the text. And it was the foundation of today's modern generative AI. The famous paper titled Attention is All You Need, right? That's one of the best example to go through it. So you can also Google out for this. It's available publicly. Attention is all you need. And it really was that awesome thing. Then from 2018, the GPT series started coming into picture. OpenAI started releasing their GPT models, showing the power of pre-trained language models. And suddenly machines could generate fluent human-like text. So this is how it happened. And in 2020 to present, GPT-3 came, GPT-4 came, Claude, Llama, DeepSeek. So Gen AI is not just about the text. It is also multimodal. Text is there, images, audio, video, code. So right from writing emails and generating code to creating marketing campaigns and even movies, AI is everywhere now. So if you look at this entire timeline, the journey from Turing test to generative AI took more than 70 years. It took more than 70 years. So the overnight explosion of ChatGPT was not really overnight. It was decades involved in making it right. How many of you have used ChatGPT or DALI or even Mid Journey in the last 6 months? Which one have you tried out in the last 6 months? ChatGPT, DALI, Midjourney, or all? Or all? These all are examples of generative AI. They don't just process the information, but they actually create new content like text, images, videos, or even code. Therefore, we say Gen AI is a subset of AI, unlike the traditional AI, which might just classify the data or predict outcomes. Gen AI goes a step further. It generates new data, and it does so by using the machine learning and the deep learning models, which are trained on huge data sets. So when you ask ChatGPT to write an essay or Midjourney to create an artwork, the system is not actually retrieving something that it has saved, but it is creating something new that resembles human creativity. So if you think about the Netflix recommendations, that is traditional AI, which is predictive in nature. But when Netflix writes a new movie script for you using AI, that is generative AI. Me asking you a question, Grok, okay, Grok, and use DALI once. Answer this question for me. Why do you think companies are investing billions into generative AI tools? Automation, minimize manual work to increase productivity, and to reduce the manual work, to save time, to automate the content creation, to make the problem solving easy, to save time, money, and resources. Right. So Gen AI has three main objectives. The first objective is generate new content, right? And this is happening by recognizing patterns. The second objective is by assisting in the complex problem solving by giving multiple solutions. And the third one is boosting the human creativity by enabling us to explore ideas we never thought of before. When I say generating new content, ChatGPT or Stable Diffusion, they can generate text or images that look like they were created by humans. When you talk about problem solving, imagine a product designer. Instead of sketching 50 different designs or design drafts, AI can generate 50 variations that you can choose from. That's one thing. Plus, there is a creativity boost, right? So, Gen AI doesn't replace creativity, it actually accelerates it. So, musicians use AI to generate background music, marketers use it for campaigning ideas, and researchers use it to brainstorm the hypothesis. So, if you look at Canvas AI, they have their you know design assistant. So you give it a theme and it will generate dozens of professional quality templates in seconds. And that is how Gen AI boosts the creativity and the productivity. Question for you. What makes you think that generative AI is so powerful? Is it the ability to create images, text, video, or something bigger behind it? Okay, bigger as its content is being sourced from multiple domain to convert English to expected output, going through huge data, making sense of it, making inference from big data, short processing time, bigger. Okay, there says something bigger behind it, such as responding to a real world problem in coding and other engineering problems, something bigger, learning, thinking on behalf of humans, can get the job done with a simple instructions. So there may be definitely some algorithms behind it, or it could be data behind it, could be anything. So, well, in simple words, if you ask me, the real backbone of generative AI is the large language model, right? They are massive pre-trained systems capable of understanding and generating human-like text across the domains. So LLMs provide the foundation for generative AI. They allow us to do tasks like conversation, summarization, translation, code generation, and much more. So Gen AI then builds on the top of these foundations, extending the capabilities to the images, audio, and even video. So even if you consider ChatGPT, for example, under the hood, it is a large language model. But when you connect it with the image models like DALI or audio, it can suddenly transform into multimodal generative AI system. And that's how you get a single tool capable of writing essays, creating images, and even summarizing a podcast transcript. Well, answer me this. Why do we call them large language models? What is so large about them? What is so large about them? Why do we call it as large language models? Large amount of data, number of parameters that are being processed, the data set on which they are trained is huge. I think we saw millions and billions of parameters in the deep learning. Yes, that's correct. Parameters, very good, very good. Good pointers, I must say, really good pointers. So that's perfect. So the term large in the large language model, in simple word, it refers to the sheer scale, because these models have hundreds of millions or even billions of parameters, which is what allows them to understand the subtle patterns in the human language. So, whenever you say large, always remember large basically is for the size and complexity. The bigger the model, the better it can generalize across the tasks. Whenever you talk of language, it is the core capability for it to understand the language and generate the human language. And when you talk about model, so it constructs, uh, there are mathematical constructs which are trained to represent patterns, grammar, and the meaning of the embedded text data. So if you look at GPT-3, GPT-3 is a 175 billion parameter model, which gives it the capability to generate paragraphs that almost are indistinguishable from the human writing. So if you compare that with the older models like LSTM from the 1990, which had very, very few million parameters, and that's the leap LLM represents. Now, the next one, we get into the widely used large language models. Now, the slide is little outdated, as you can see in over here. Here, GPT 3.5 or 4, they are most widely used models. They excel in content generation, summarization, translation, and the data extraction as well. So GPT 4, they go a step further into multimodal capabilities, meaning it does not just handle text, but it also handles images. And I would also say in some cases handle videos as well. Like ChatGPT answers our question in natural language, and it can also analyze an uploaded image. The next is Google Gemini. So Google's Gemini is nothing but a response to their GPT model. So it is designed to aid in the complex problem solving and the code generation. So imagine using Gemini in the Google Workspace, helping you draft emails in the Gmail while also writing formulas in the Google Sheets. The third is the Llama's Meta AI. So this is open source and lightweight, and it focuses on natural language understanding, content creation, and translation. So startups use Llama as a foundation for the custom AI chatbots because it can be fine-tuned cost effectively. The next you have is Falcon. This is basically by the UAE guys. Yes, United Arab Emirates. They are less famous but powerful in academics and research. So they excel in translation, reasoning, sentiment analysis. They're used in multilingual environments where precision in local languages is crucial. Then you have Claude. Claude's Anthropic. They are known for its safety and ethical AI design. They can perform dialogues, coding tasks, even data analysis like charts and graphs. So Claude is particularly good at summarizing long documents while following ethical guidelines. which makes it one of the very popular choice in the legal and the compliance industries. Now that we are good with this, let us go to the next one. Now, what we have in the next one is a wheel of Gen AI tools across the industries. Yes. So too many things is what we have to look into in the next one. So have a look at this. I'm actually creating a folder for you. One moment, in our drive only, I'm creating a folder. Yes. Google Docs, Gen AI tools. Okay. Now here, uh, you can also refer this sheet. I'm not sharing that. Anyways, I'm going to share that as a form of resources for you. This is there in our day one folder only, nothing out of the box as such, right? But I'm also reflecting the information over here so that you don't end up forgetting the functionality of each of this and you can research more on it. The first tool over here is the Adobe Firefly. There we have it. So to get started with it, here we are. The first one is the Adobe Firefly. You can see it, I have pasted everything into the doc file, but even if you are not opening that, that's also still fine. So as you saw, right? So Adobe Firefly is mainly used for image and video generation. This is for creative design. So I can ask it to generate a poster instantly in the Photoshop. Then the Bing and ChatGPT is nothing but AI powered search and conversation. So I can actually Bing, summarize today's news, and it will do that for me. Canva available, which is nothing but the AI assisted graphic and presentation design. So I can create a LinkedIn post in 30 seconds. Then we have design.ai. This is for marketing content automation. It will instantly generate a brand logo and an ad copy. Then you also have Jasper. Jasper is also good. I have used it. It's basically AI writing assistant for business. It can draft emails for sales as well as it can also draft in the blogs. You have Logo AI, which is for automated logo creation. So you can generate a startup logo in seconds. Then you have Soundful, you have 11 Labs, you have the IVA. All of these are for music and voice synthesis. They can generate the background music for YouTube video. Then Synthesia is another thing which is good for AI video avatars. So, a CEO's video message can be created without recording it ideally. So that is something which is good about it. Runway or Pictory or Topaz Labs, they are for video editing with AI. You can remove the objects or upscale the video quality. Then you have Whistler or you have Hagen. This is AI driven video creation. I can convert blocks into narrated video. You have GitHub Copilot, which you saw me using. You have Replit, you have Tab 9. All of these are good for AI coding assistant. Autocomplete Python functions while doing the coding. Then you have Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok for conversational LLMs like customer support chatbots. Then you also have Tome or Beautiful.ai or as of today, Gamma AI. They are very good for creating presentations. You can create a PowerPoint deck from the text notes. Then we have WYSA. We have Replica, Replika. They are mental health chatbots. So they are like an AI companion for stress management. Then you have Otter.ai and Fireflies.ai. So they are for our meeting transcription. I can generate the meeting notes automatically in the Zoom. Then you have Notion AI, which is for productivity plus the note taking automation. So it can summarize the project notes. You have Perplexity AI, which is research focused conversational search. Like I can ask it to compare the Tesla versus the Rivian EV strategy, and it will do that in the best way for me. You also have Deep Brain or Our One. They are basically AI generated presenters. So they're helpful for virtual anchoring while reading your script. Then you have Stable Diffusion, Mid Journey. They are for high quality text to image conversion. You have Quillbot. I'm sure you are going to forget it. That's why I have given this to you in writing. Quillbot is AI powered writing improvement. So it can paraphrase a paragraph for clarity. You have Grammarly Go. This is an AI writing assistant. It can refine the tone of the emails. Then you have copy.ai. That's also good. It is for marketing content generation. Social media ad captions can be generated. You have Look A, Looka, Looka precisely, which is brand kit and logo builder. So you can give it a prompt, generate an entire brand style guide, and it will do that for you. You have SynthFlow, no code AI app builder. So it can build a custom chatbot without coding. You have Cogram, Moises, and Sleep.ai as well. So they're mainly for productivity and health care AI. You have Babel, Duolingo. This is AI driven language learning. For if you want to practice French via chatbot, you also have Fitbod, Olive AI. These are for fitness and healthcare AI. Personalized gym workout plans. You have Lattice, Seek AI. This is for HR and recruitment AI. You have Fathom. This is for the meeting insights. I can highlight the key decisions in the Zoom call. Now, among these all tools, which you see it in the Google Doc, which is shared with you all, I can see many people on that sheet. I would like to know from you all, tell me, which of these tools do you think will impact you most in your day-to-day life? You already have all of this. Hmm. Somewhat coding tools, sleep.ai, Claude.ai. Cool. Okay, let's go on to the next one. For better sleep. Next one. Too many tools. We are not studying all of this, by the way, right? So, first, a question for you. Bigger behind it, like multiple AI uses at single instance. This was a mistake. No problem. See, as an intern, you have been tasked with choosing LLM for a project that required generating highly accurate and factual content for technical documentation. Which of this would be best suit this purpose? See, in my opinion, the correct answer to this is A, GPT-4. Because GPT-4 is regarded as the most advanced in producing highly accurate, fact-based, reliable content, especially for technical documentation. Now, this question is little ambiguous. I understand it, but the most apt answer over here is the GPT-4. So over here, if you talk about Google Gemini, it is good for problem solving and coding tasks. If you talk about Falcon, it is good for translation, reasoning, summarization, but it is less specialized in highly factual structured documentation. And Claude is excelling in safe, ethical dialogues and open-ended conversations, but it is more suited for conversational AI than strict technical documentation. I use Claude Sonnet. Results are better than ChatGPT for technical in-depth. Now, see, it depends on which model are you talking about. Are you talking about the free versions of it, or you're looking at the paid versions of it? Free or paid? Paid versions, okay. I didn't try out Claude. I am kind of too much inclined towards the GPT, but maybe. And there are many reasons actually to quantify this. The prompting is also one of the factor, right? How we are doing it. But I don't know, maybe Claude might be better. I have not used it, so I don't have any specifics over here. I'm using the free version of the Claude, not the paid version. Paid is only GPT. Yeah, that's the thing which I'm using. In fact, with GPT-5, I see the things have become little slower as well. There was a small activity. I think this is what we can do later. Create a resume and cover letter. I can do 4, 5 activities at the same time. Just a 1 minute job. Now we get started with understanding prompt. See, one very important concern. Tell me, have you ever given instruction to someone and received something completely different from what you expected? And if yes, why do you think it happened? Instructions were ambiguous, understanding the context, miscommunication, not specific. Yes, they understood a different context because the understanding is in different context. Context reference was not provided. Yes, very much possible. Maybe the instructions were not clear. Maybe the person did not understand it properly, or maybe you didn't give enough details. And the same happens with the generative AI. So if the instruction or what we call as a prompt, they are not clear, then AI may give the results we did not expect. And that is why prompts are so crucial. So in simple words, we understand that what is prompt? It is nothing but a natural language instruction that we give to AI to perform a specific task. A well-crafted prompt helps us to understand the context and the requirement of the task. So, it's very important to ensure that instead of saying, you know, instead of just saying that, hey, I want you to summarize this. No, you should be precisely say that summarize this into 3 bullet points suitable for beginner audience. So a precise prompt leads to focused and more usable output. So understand it. If you ask it, write me a story. It's vague. But if you ask it, write me a 200-word story about teamwork in a school cricket team, you will get far more relevant results. Therefore, I say that prompt, it's like a bridge connecting the user's intent with the AI's execution. So you should always think of prompt as if you are ordering food at the restaurant. If you just say, bring me something good, the waiter will bring anything, probably what he finds good. But if you say, bring me medium rare grilled paneer with the sorted vegetables, you'll exactly get what you want. Prompts work the same way. Imagine you are rubbing a lantern and a genie comes outside it. When you have been given one wish to say, you have to be very clear about that wish. You have to be very, very clear about that wish. The more better you give it, the more perfect you get it. That's important. Very quickly. So tell me the answer to that. Under 5 seconds, Paris. Yes. In the same way, when we give a prompt to a language model, it looks at its training data and the patterns to generate the right response. Therefore, prompts are like the instruction the AI generates responses based on the pattern that it has learned. So the idea is very simple. Simple prompts means simple answers. Like if you say, what is the capital of France? It is Paris. And in the same way, complex prompts means advanced answers. Like me coming and saying, summarize this legal contract in plain English. So prompts can actually drive AI's text completion, translation, summarization, creative writing, and much more. And the quality of the output is directly linked to how well a prompt is crafted. So it's like, imagine you are actually training and new employee. You're training a new employee and you're preparing a report. So they might create something random. But if you say, hey, I want you to prepare a 2-page report, two, analyzing last month's sales trend, last month, focusing on top 5 products, focus on top 5 products. So your output is going to be way more focused and useful, way more focused and useful. So your prompt is something which is very, very important. So now that we have understood what a prompt is, let us talk about what makes a prompt great. We understood that vague prompt is vague result. All right. So there are 4 important components of a prompt. The first one is task. One by one, let's look into it. So task is basically the specific action, write product description. That's a task. The next is instruction. So instruction is nothing but the rules to follow. Make it sound professional under 100 words. That's an instruction. Then context is the background details. The product is smartwatch targeted at the fitness enthusiast. And the next one is the input. Any data that you provide, use customer reviews as input text. So if you miss out on any one of this, your AI may not meet your expectations. But when you combine them, then AI suddenly feels like it understands your intent. So important components of the prompts are this. So see, imagine I'm writing a prompt. Create a brief narrative about a wizard quest in magical forest with surprise ending using provided lore and creating creature description. Now, if you look into this, what is my task? Create a narrative brief. What is the instruction? The story must include wizard's quest and a surprising ending. What is the context? The setting is the magical forest with protagonist on a quest. And the input over here, which we have provided, is lore and the descriptions of the creatures. Let me ask you, tell me, if I removed the context part, what would happen to the story? Tell me, if I remove the context part, what will happen to the story? It will build its own pre-configured context. It will not get the expected result, or it may turn out to be very generic in nature, or AI might lose its direction. Very much possible. Very much possible. So without context, AI is certain to lose the direction. That is why these four components are equally important whenever you are drafting a prompt. So you can think of these as the recipes. If you miss even one ingredient, the taste won't be the same. Hallucinate, okay? Only one answer. All the questions that Simply Learn have single answer. A, specify the source and the target in the instructions. Yes, that's absolutely correct because whenever you are creating prompts for translation, well, instructions are most critical components, and the AI model must be explicitly told from which language to which language the translation should occur. Translate this English technical manual into French. So the translation should occur that particular way, right? Preserving the technical. B. C is wrong in my opinion because excluding the background information may actually strip the context. It may confuse the model, leading to incorrect or incomplete translations. Right. So we understand this. Now, after this, we get into several hands-on, right, of ChatGPT. Now we'll be actually starting with the hands-on. You can see there is one more hands-on over here, one more hands-on for LinkedIn profile, one more for feedback. And all of these are very, very simple. Uh, and after that, yes, one moment. I'm also looking into prompting techniques. They are here in the next session. That's fine. Should have been covered ideally this time only, but no worries. So writing formula, one moment. Only hands-on and hands-on are left out now. The first one is the resume and the cover letter creation using ChatGPT. Lesson 1, resume and the cover letter creation using the ChatGPT. So the aim over here is to demonstrate the use of ChatGPT in creating professional resume and cover letter using a full stack developer position, showing the candidate's skills and experiences. So they asked us to log in into ChatGPT and all. There is nothing as such, and they are saying copy the prompt with the candidate details. Let me come down. So if you see over here, the details are being given for a particular candidate. You can see that very clearly. Candidate profile, Alex Johnson, experiences this, industries, IT skill set is this, having knowledge of these all things, right? All these things are written. And fine, this is his overall resume things. And then at the end, we say, create a resume for Alex Johnson that showcases his 5 years journey in the IT industry as a full stack developer. It should highlight his expertise in Python, Java, JavaScript, and key frameworks like Django and React, as well as his skills in the database and the cloud technologies like PostgreSQL, MongoDB, AWS. The resume must emphasize Alex's leadership in project development, team collaboration, passion for technology, and continuous learning. Align the resume with the full stack developer role at the innovative tech solutions, focusing on his relevant technical skills and soft skills that match his job requirement. So this is what we copy. We go to ChatGPT and I just put it in the prompt, and then it starts generating it. So you can see how it has written Alex Johnson and his thing, then professional summary, very simple thing, core skills, professional experience, then software developer with his experience, junior developer, education, projects, certifications, and this is how it has done it. That's exactly how it was able to do it over here. Will it go through the ATS? Yes, it will. It will. It will. I have a better version of this, to be very honest, and I will share these things over here. Google Docs, prompts, demo one. Let's look into this. I come here and I say this. Have a look at this. Now, one of the very good practice in prompting, right? So I'd like to talk about Radkoff in engineering with an example and the practical significance of it. Now, this is what is not there in your notes, but I love this principle. Radkoff principle in prompt engineering. So, what is Radkoff? R is for role, which is assigning a model a role or a persona. You are a historian specializing in WWI. A is the audience. You should always specify the target audience for the output. Explain for a group of high school students. T is the task. Clearly state what task the model should do. Summarize this article. C is the context. Provide the necessary background or details. This article is about a renewable adoption in Europe, a renewable energy adoption. Then output format. How do you want it to be? Bullet point summary? Few short examples. You can also include a few examples so that the model understands the output you want it is in what style. So it can help us to guide the style or structure. And F is further constraints, add limitations, use less than 100 words, avoid technical jargons, all of this. So here, see, as an example, I say you are an experienced career coach. You need not write that role, this, audience, this. Just you will write down this right hand side. You are an experienced career coach, a recent college graduate, or in computer science, right? You have to deliver to a recent college audience in the computer science. Task: give a job search advice. Context: the graduate has limited work experience but has strong coding skills and has some experience in web development. Output format: provide a three-step actionable plan in numbered list format and some examples given, right, of good responses. Build this, this, this. Now, this is optional. So let's say if I'm giving this, so you see over here, it has given the output. So essentially, is good for the clarity because it reduces ambiguity. Consistency in the result is what can be expected. It saves time also. It is in alignment with the real world use cases and it's good for scalability. And the same thing is what I did over here. I gave role. You are an expert resume writer with 15 years of experience creating ATS friendly resumes for IT professionals. Audience, the target audience is the hiring managers and the recruiters at innovative tech solutions who are seeking a qualified full stack developer. Task: using details provided, create professional tailored resume for Alex Johnson that emphasizes his technical expertise, leadership, problem solving, and alignment with the given job description. Then I pasted the details. So now I say context. This resume should demonstrate clear alignment between Alex's skills or experience and the role experience. Very important, right? Role expectation and Alex skills, they must be matched, ensuring the document feels customized rather than generic. So important. Output is a polished ATS optimized resume that highlights Alex skills and achievements using action verbs, measurable results, and relevance to the full stack developer position. Format: provide the resume in a professional structure with sections: contact info, professional summary, technical skills, professional experience, which is achievement oriented, bullet points, education, and certifications. Examples: as the style reference, developed and deployed scalable SaaS application using Django, React, and AWS, improving the customer onboarding speed by 30%. Can it give different result when we think? Yes, it does. Think longer. Sometimes it doesn't also, but sometimes it does. Or rather, you should write, Shekhar, that take as much time to think as you want. That is also one of the things that you can do it. Then you can see over here, Alex Johnson, you get this professional summary. Now, there will be proper action verbs over here, technical skills, professional experience, education, certifications, and why the candidate is key fit for this. Hands-on experience in this, strong foundation is this, and this. So that matters a lot. That matters a lot. Then the second one. Second one is multilingual translation using ChatGPT. So basically, this is the scenario. Let us try going to ChatGPT and straight away, let's try asking it. Imagine an online bookstore that offers a variety of titles in multiple languages to cater to a global audience. To expand its reach and provide readers with the book in their preferred language, the bookstore utilizes ChatGPT for real-time book translation. Prompt: translate the following book excerpt into multiple languages to make it accessible to a broader audience. Excerpt: Journey through the Echoes is captivating exploration of ancient civilizations around the globe. In one chapter, author delves into hidden cities of Amazon, revealing secrets till the last line, innovations, comma, and their profound connection with nature. Now you see it has translated to Spanish, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, Chinese simplified, Japanese, and okay. If I have to do it using the Ratkov principle, the third one, this is LinkedIn profile creation using ChatGPT. Straight for a very, very simple thing. I mean, you see over here, this is the resume for John Doe. We have John Doe, his education, objectives, everything. Skills we have, taking down, publications, and then we have his prompt. Now, this prompt is what we need to look into mainly. Create a LinkedIn headline that showcases my experience, qualifications, and passion using industry relevant keywords. Write summary of around 150 words that highlights my professional journey and unique skills. In the experience section, provide detailed entries that showcases my contributions and achievements using action verbs, very important, and quantifying results. Also suggest content for starting conversations with the new connections, focusing on recent industry news or their achievements within 100 words. Additionally, help me craft a LinkedIn post of up to 200 words, sharing insights on specific topics with relevant SEO hashtags. Offer advice on optimizing my profile to attract recruiters and enhance professional connections. And when I give that resume and my prompt, you see LinkedIn headline, summary under 150 words. You have to read through it to understand it better. Experience section, conversation starters. Hi, I recently came across your dot and impressed by your work on some details with rapid developments in AI and dot. Then I have LinkedIn post as well. Then I have the profile optimization tips. A better prompt, in my opinion, it is using the Ratkov principle. You are a professional LinkedIn strategist with expertise in optimizing AI ML specialist profile to attract recruiters and industry leaders. Using the following resume, create a compelling LinkedIn presence for John Doe. And I'm giving the resume as it is, copy pasted. Then I'm giving the task. Create a LinkedIn headline that uses the industry level keywords and positions John as a leader in AI ML innovation. Write a LinkedIn summary, 150 words, that highlights his professional journey, expertise in generative models, LLMs, multimodal AI, and passion for technology. Enhance the experience section with the achievement focused entries that use strong action verbs and quantifiable impact. Suggest networking conversations, 100 words that John can use with new connections. Drawing on recent AI industry trends or their professional milestones. Draft a LinkedIn post where John shares insights on current AI/ML topic, includes thought leadership tone, and then adds SEO friendly hashtags. Very important. Provide clear, actionable advice on optimizing his LinkedIn profile for visibility, recruiter attention, and building meaningful professional connections. The output is going to be way, way more better. LinkedIn headline, you have LinkedIn summary, experience, networking conversation starter. Hi, I have been following your work. See, this is far better than what was earlier and was really impressed by your recent contribution to the project. With so much happening in generative AI, especially around the diffusion models and the LLM fine tuning, I would love to hear your perspective on where you see the biggest opportunities in next 12 to 18 months. I have been working on multimodal AI projects at DeepMind, and I'm excited to exchange ideas with the fellow practitioners. Let's connect. I did enjoy learning mm, more about your journey and how you're approaching the challenges of scaling AI responsibly. Then I have a LinkedIn post, which is also very good. You can go through it. Then optimization advice also given. Don't put a proper profile and banner, custom URL like short ones, feature selection, SEO keywords that it has given, and so on. So that makes a huge difference in the output. Then the last one for now. Then we'll get back to our multimodal capabilities, though it is straightforward only, but yes. The next one is the sentiment analysis of the user reviews. All of these are very simple, but what you're learning is the Ratkov principle. So we have to perform the sentiment analysis on the user reviews to enhance the content recommendation and the user interaction on streaming service platform. This is what I have. Let's read the prompt carefully. So here we say categorize the product review based on the following input. Positive sentiment means which expresses a favorable view or positive emotion towards the subject. Negative means it expresses unfavorable view or negative emotion towards the subject. Neutral means neutral view or lack of strong emotions. Mixed means contains elements of both positive and negative or expresses contradictory emotions. Questioning sentiment, which expresses curiosity or uncertainty about a particular topic. And appreciative sentiment, which shows gratitude, appreciation, or thankfulness towards the subject. And here are the reviews which you can read through it. Just few of the sentiments. And you can see review one neutral sentiment along with justification. Second one positive. Third one negative. Fourth one mixed. This is good, but I have a one which follows the Ratkov principle very nicely. So I'd like to look into that part. Have a look at this. You are an expert in sentiment analysis with the ability to classify text into nuanced emotional categories. Categorize the provided reviews into one of the following sentiment: positive, negative, neutral, mixed, questioning, or appreciative. Use full context of the review, very important, and provide most fitting sentiment for each while briefly justifying the choice. And then I have the reviews to analyze. Then I give the task. For each review, provide the correct sentiment label along with 1 to 2 line justification Ensure that the classification captures the nuance of the review rather than oversimplifying it. So first one is the Eternal Visions review. It says neutral and justification, and so on for others. Now what? Now before we go on a break, I have shared with you all the prompts over here. It is there in our sheet only. You all are expected to be on the sheet. Try out the prompts which I have given, or you try out the prompts which are there on the EngageX portal. Anything is fine. We get into the next use case, which is exploring the multimodal capabilities, then customer feedback analysis, and then write for me GPT. As you can see, multimodal capabilities. So here, can ChatGPT actually interpret images? Can ChatGPT actually interpret images? So if you see over here, they have given a image, and the image is not clearly visible. So obviously we cannot use that, but it's basically of a US map. So they gave it a prompt, and here, right? So they gave it a prompt. And what is the prompt? Well, let me show you. Analyze the image provided, which is a map featuring the geographic locations, including cities, states, and natural landmarks. Identify the country and suggest notable tourist attractions visible on the map. Describe these places briefly and explain their significance or appeal to the visitors, focusing on the areas that are typically of interest to the travelers. And this is the US map, by the way. So you can see it is focusing on the major urban centers. New York is there. Then what is it known for? It is known as the Big Apple, famous for the Statue of Liberty, Times Square, Central Park, Broadway, and its world-class museums like MoMA, Metropolitan Museum of Art. Washington, D.C., which is the capital, Lincoln Memorial, US Capitol, Smithsonian Museum, it's famous for that. Los Angeles, California, it is the heart of film and entertainment industry. Popular attractions over here include Hollywood, Universal Studios, Santa Monica, and beaches along the Pacific coast. Chicago, Illinois, it's famous for its architecture, Millennium Parks, Navy Pier, and deep dish pizza. Las Vegas, similarly historical places, Boston, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New Orleans, and natural attractions, Grand Canyon there in Arizona, Yellowstone National Park at Wyoming, Rocky Mountains, Colorado, Great Sunny Mountains, Tennessee and North Carolina, Florida, Hawaii, Alaska, and so on. But I have a better prompt over here as well. So let me say, mm, analyze the provided image, which is the detailed map of United States of America. So I'm being very specific so that it does not have to guess. This is showing states, capitals, cities, and natural landmarks. Identify the country, highlight notable tourist attractions that would appeal to travelers. Focus on major urban centers like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and San Francisco. Historical sites like Washington, D.C., Boston, natural wonders like Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, and unique regional features like the feature beaches of Florida, deserts of Arizona, etc. For each, briefly describe its significance or its unique appeal to the visitors. Present the analysis in a clear and engaging way so that the readers can easily understand why these destinations are worth visiting. And now you get the major urban centers. You see, in the Los Angeles, it is also talking about Disneyland, which was not there earlier. In Chicago, you can see it's saying it is also rich in jazz, blues, and architectural history. San Francisco, known for Golden Gate, mix of natural beauty and cultural diversity. So the output is refined, no doubt about it. And one can do get into this details of the output. Also, why visit? Because it combines cutting edge cities, deep rooted history, and some of the most stunning natural landscapes on earth. So whether you're looking for skyscrapers, music, and culture, or wide open wilderness, the US offers something for every kind of traveler. So that's good. And that is nothing but this. Now we are getting into the next one. But before that, I guess Manu just joined. So he had a question. After the prompt, I'm not getting desired results. How to refine the prompt? Should we re-enter the whole prompt or just the refined part? See, how you refine your prompt depends on the tool or the model that you are working with, Manu. And the degree of the change also what you want, it is also one of the important factor. I will not tell you the answer to this, but I'll just let you know some strategies. If the change is minor, let's say with respect to wording, tone, style, length, then you need not enter the whole prompt. Just tell the model something like, make the response more concise, or rephrase it in a formal tone, or just add an example. So this works because the model remembers the context in the current conversation. Now, if your change is structural or major, like it's a different format or purpose or a misunderstood intent, then in this case, it is usually better to restate the whole refined prompt. So the model will start fresh with your new, clearer instructions. For example, let's say if your original prompt was write a blog post on AI in healthcare, but what you actually wanted was to write a 500-word blog post on AI in healthcare for beginner audience, including 3 real-world examples and that too in simple language. Then re-entering the full refined version is far more better option. And the last one I can say as an approach would be when to definitely rewrite the whole prompt. Well, you can do that if the model derailed from your intent. If you want to remove the ambiguity, your initial wording might have been too broad. And if the conversation has gone too far off track, and continuing with the tweaks like I suggested in the first approach, in that case, they are not going to help. So a practical approach, Manu, would be iterate in small refinements first. That saves time. And if the results are still off track, then it is better to rewrite the prompt, right? Rewrite a full clean prompt with the refined instructions included in that. I hope that makes sense to you, Manu. Okay, I think in interest of class time, I'm going ahead. Maybe something's wrong at his side. Okay, then The next one is the customer feedback analysis using the ChatGPT 4. Today it has to be ChatGPT 5. So that's fine. So the scenario. The scenario is, imagine you're working as a data analyst for a large e-commerce company. The company has just completed a major sale event and they have collected a large amount of customer feedback through their website and app. Now the company wants to understand customer feedback to identify the areas of success and the opportunities to improve. So the prompt is, as a data analyst, analyze this feedback data. Given a data set of customer feedback, analyze the data and categorize each feedback into positive, negative, constructive, neutral. After categorizing, provide a count of the number of feedback comments in each category. Customer feedback, it should be there here only. Anyone is sharing that? Lesson plan, data sets. I got it. And that's already there. I need not uploading this data. And this is the data set. If you see, review title, customer name, ratings, date, category, comments, useful. And then it's in the process of doing it. Here you have the output, right? What is green, red, orange, and how many positive feedbacks, how many constructive, neutral for that entire data set. So, and this is how the overall things have been. So this data set consisted of around so many reviews, around 205, more than that. All of these are analyzed. You can see this. And that's good. It's a good prompt. And this is using the Ratkoff demo 06. And me writing over here. You're a data analyst for a large e-commerce company that has completed a major sale event and gathered extensive customer feedback. See, this context and role is so important. From the website and app, analyze this data set of customer feedback to uncover insights. Categorize each comment into one of the groups. After categorization, provide total number of comments in each category and present the results clearly. So finally, create a pie chart visualization with the custom colors to represent the distribution of each categories, making it easy for the stakeholders to quickly understand each sentiment and areas for improvement. And you see, we have this, what the pie chart shows. So not really great improvement in the prompt, but yes, right, we understand this. Perfect. So this was okay prompt. I mean, this was prompt was good. No complaints as such. Then the next one is, we now get into specific things over here. So we are looking into specific types of GPT. So over here, the first one is Write for Me GPT. Now, if you see in over here, the content creation for eco-friendly reusable water bottles using the Write for Me GPT over here. What is Write for Me GPT? Let's look over here. So I'm asking to ChatGPT only, what is Write for Me GPT and how is it different from ChatGPT 5? Now have a look at this. So Write for Me GPT is a custom GPT or a specialized tool. And the aim of that GPT is for writing the content according to the user specification. Yes, always writing the content according to the user specification. Here, essentially, you can see over here some of the key aspects. Some of the key aspects of this is it is often described as specialized GPT inside ChatGPT, good for content creation, essay blocks, etc. It emphasizes meeting specific requirements such as word count, structure, tone. So basically, it is nothing but ChatGPT, but fine-tuned for writing, right? It is like a writing assistant built on the top of AI models. You can think of it as preset or mode tuned for generating content as per user requirements. So key difference. ChatGPT is general purpose model. Write for me GPT focuses on writing. Flexibility wise, ChatGPT is highly flexible. It can switch between different types of tasks, but this is only for writing. Model capability, it is state of the art model, and this is just acting as a front end. It is constrained. Memory capacity is much longer. Here it is shorter, and so on. Let's get into this. So the things are going to be same. We are going to look into the scenario, but where? Not here. You get into this one and then you click on GPTs, explore, explorer. Inside this, explore. Here, you search for write for me GPT. It's already here because I used it very recently for some other cohort. So I say, click on this supercharged writing assistant by puzzle.today. And then it has the capability to search on web also. Conversation starter. You can ask it, write 1,000 word essay describing the qualities of AI, resilient, and so on. It also has code interpreter, so you can ask it to work on any data set. Web search is there, Canvas is there, DALI image generations, and Foro image generations. All of these are available. Let me start chat, and I'm going to straight away ask the prompt. You are preparing to launch an eco-friendly usable bottle. You're made for sustainable material, made from sustainable material. Your audience is environmentally conscious individuals who are active and health conscious. Your aim is to highlight the benefits of your product over single use plastic bottles, emphasizing sustainability, health benefits, and your commitment to reduce plastic waste. Your goal is to connect with potential customers who value eco friendly alternatives. This is what we say over the everyday products. Create a compelling blog post for new eco friendly reusable water bottles. This blog post should introduce the product and its unique features, discuss the importance of reducing single use plastic in our daily lives, and highlight the health and environmental benefits of choosing our sustainable water bottle. The tone must be informative, engaging, and persuasive, aiming to connect with health conscious and environmentally aware individuals. And I put in over here title, Ditch the Plastic. Choose better, meet your new favorite water bottle. Let's face it, single use plastic bottles are everywhere. They are easy, they are cheap, they are a habit, but they are also a problem. One we cannot afford to ignore. Every minute, a million plastic bottles are bought across the world, and most of them they end up in the landfills, oceans, or burned into the atmosphere. But the change doesn't have to be complicated. It can start with something simple like water bottle you carry. Then we say introducing the sustainable bottle built for your life. We are proud to launch a reusable water bottle. Why say goodbye to single use plastic? We write it over here, and healthier for you too. And this it's good. The bottom line also you can read it, or me saying create engaging and persuasive marketing content for eco-friendly reusable water bottles, highlight their environmental benefits, and etc., which I want you only to read it. First, let me write over here. Yeah, you can read the prompt and start reading little bit of the output as well. You'll see it's better. After this, okay, let's move to the next one. Then 8, 9, 10, 11. Eighth one, creative branding makeover for coffee shop with Canva GPT. So one thing is for sure that because we are doing it for Canva GPT, I'll have to go here and get into GPTs, explore, and to search for Canva. Many will come up. You have to choose the right one. This is by Khadin Akbar. Of course, we'll use by canva.com. Effortlessly design anything, presentation, logos, and social media post. Now I say we have the scenario and that is it. You don't have anything else. So this is the overall scenario that we are having. It says a coffee shop is launching a new coffee blend called a Sunrise Brew. You can change the name. Described as smooth, bold coffee with caramel and chocolate hints, designed to start your morning with warmth and energy. Prompt: create an image for social media post to announce the launch of Sunrise Brew. The image should show the warmth of the morning sun and rich flavors of caramel and chocolate. Use elements like sunrise or morning light and a steaming coffee cup to suggest the fresh start to the day. The design should be welcoming and energized. Include the text introducing Sunrise Brew. Start your day with a flavor adventure in a clear font. The style should be modern and clean, targeting young professionals and coffee enthusiasts. So I go to Canva GPT and I write it. Uh-huh. You see, it wants to talk. Say confirm. Talking to the plugin. So it is establishing connection with the Canva. Have a look at this. My prompt. Read this prompt. You only read it. Look at the output. So this was Canva GPT. Then next is creating website using designer GPT. Now here, consider the scenario. So it says the scenario is very simple in this scenario. An online store wants to create a visually appealing website or the product landing page to show its product line. The design should be modern and user friendly, and it should highlight the key features of the products. Prompt: provide a design concept for a website or product landing page of an online store. The design should include header with the store logo, navigation bar, a hero section featuring the main product sections and the product details and testimonials. The design should be visually appealing. So I come over here and design the GPT. I found it, so I'm directly using it. And my prompt, I'm pasting it. Now it is asking. Before I do that, just let me know. Should I use AI generated images using DALI or Unsplash stock images? So, so let's go with Unsplash stock images. Anything is fine, your choice. And I can see what all it's creating for me in the web page. Confirm. Okay. Click to open the live page. And this is what you see: features, testimonials, subscribe, everything created. I can add in the images over here by myself, image via Unsplash. So ideally it has given an image. You can download and add it over there. And the web page created quickly. Privacy policy, you can see, and terms and conditions. It cannot create a foolproof web page for you, but it is gonna be a good game changer for nice boilerplate code. Let's look into this and website. See, much better. You see this, my prompt revolutionized the page. Much better. You can actually read through the prompt now. Why it is better? Okay. Now, the 10th one. Streamlining literature surveys on LLM impact with the consensus GPT. So, first, I will have to go to ChatGPT and search for consensus GPT, not there. Explore consensus by consensus app. Ask the research. Chat directly into the world's scientific literature. Search references and get simple explanations. Write articles backed by academic papers easily. So I click on Start Chat. It has DALI, Code Interpreter, Web Search, Canva, Actions, everything. So this is the scenario. A researcher is conducting a literature survey, right? This is what we see on the impact of the LLMs on natural language understanding. They aim to gather and analyze recent studies that explore the advancements in the LLM, particularly in the areas such as question answering, text summarization, and sentiment analysis. The researcher intends to identify key trends, challenges, and potential future directions. They also plan to highlight the role of fine tuning and transfer learning in enhancing the performance of LLMs on various NLU tasks. Prompt: conduct a literature survey on the impact of the large language models on natural language understanding tasks. Focus on recent studies that explore advancements in question answering, text summarization, and sentiment analysis. Analyze the key trends and challenges in the field and discuss the role of fine tuning and transfer learning in improving the LLM performance on NLU tasks. Provide a summary of your findings, highlight potential future directions for research in this case. Copying and pasting. It's okay even if you just copy the prompt, then consensus GPT. Here is the literature survey, overview of LLMs in NLU. Advancements, you can see the latest papers taken 2024 and what they say. Text summarization, you can see the paper from the year 2025 taken. So look at the research links that it is referring, right? That is the best part of consensus GPT. You don't have to really worry about it. And that is the advancement that you get. Well, since I have been doing it consistently, I will not like to stay behind here as well. So demo 10, read my prompt. Conduct a comprehensive literature survey on the impact of large language models on natural language understanding. focus on this, identify and analyze key trends, provide clear and well-structured summary that not only synthesizes the current state of research, but also points to promising directions for future studies in this area. Can we check our research papers over here? No, no, it's not for checking your research papers. Based on your prompt, it will refer the latest research papers. You cannot check your research paper if your prompt is relevant to research paper, and if it is among the popular ones, it will be auto-selected. So there is no guarantee that your research paper will be reflected over here. So now we have introduction, advancements in question answering, advancements in text summarization. You can see the links, right? They are latest and role of fine tuning. And the challenges. The last one is the universal primer. Now, so it will come. And I'll go ahead with this. Which one? Which one? Which one? Yeah, this one. That doesn't mean that the others are not good, but yeah, we are going ahead with this one. Quickest and the most efficient way to master any subject. This method combines cutting edge technologies with the personalized learning plans to ensure rapid and thorough understanding, helping you achieve your learning goals in record time. Start. Let's come on to the prompt. So, scenario. Alex, a working professional with background in engineering, is preparing for an important project presentation that involves understanding equilibrium principles. Despite his experience, Alex struggles to grasp how changes in pressure, temperature, and concentration impact chemical equilibria according to the Lee-Chatelier's principle. He seeks a straightforward explanation with the real-world examples to deepen his comprehension and facilitate practical application in his project work. Prompt. Offer practical explanation of Lee-Chatelier's principle and its relevance in the chemical equilibria. Tailored for working professionals, describe the influence of pressure, temperature, and concentration changes on chemical equilibria, emphasizing their significance in industrial process on engineering applications. Provide a concrete example demonstrating the principle in action, such as effect of altering reaction conditions in manufacturing processes. Ensure the explanation enhances Alex's understanding and enables him to apply these concepts effectively in the professional endeavors. And there it comes to explain. So first it is explaining the Lee-Chatelier's principle, explaining it is, if a system at equilibrium is disturbed, the system will shift to minimize that disturbance and re-establish equilibrium. So it is like a dynamic balance, a bit like a seesaw with equal weights on both the sides. If you apply a sudden drop of heavy object on one side, the change, pressure, temperature, concentration, the system adjusts, tilting or shifting to restore the new balance. Then impact of changing concentrations. Imagine conveyor belt, we have reactants to products and products to reactants, both working at this, and explaining with the help of technical analogy. Temperature is like turning up the heat in a bakery. If making bread is exothermic, that is releasing heat, cranking up an oven discourages more baking. The kitchen cools by reversing, stopping the oven or making less bread, and so on. The same thing, revamped. Last one, where I say, explain Lee-Chatelier's principle in a straightforward and practical way, tailored for working professional with an engineering background. Clearly describe how change in pressure, temperature, and concentration affects chemical equilibrium. I don't mention Alex, it's for anyone. And connect these effects to real-world industrial and engineering applications. Use a concrete example such as adjusting reaction conditions in manufacturing process to demonstrate the principle in action. The explanation should be making the concept easy to grasp, highlight its practical significance, and equip the learner to apply it confidently in the professional project work. Now you see this principle, how it works. Add more reactant, it shifts to consume it. Remove it, it shifts to replace it. Then temperature changes, pressure changes, and practical summary is what I get at the end. And that's pretty much it. So if you see carefully, all the demos completed, we are on track. No, actually, we are not on track because there are 3 decks. But if you see carefully, all of these are covered. Now, one thing I want to talk about is this context window. I want to talk about it. This is all this right for me and all things. Nothing over here. So I'll go to ChatGPT and I say, explain what is a context window in a LLM and what is the practical significance of it. Create a table listing down all the versions from GPT-1 onwards, including each and every GPT till GPT-5, and also include a column of context window and another column of how many words or an example of how much content can it hold, like a magazine or a comic book or a legal article or anything for each of the GPT. So context window is basically how much of it can it remember? How much of it can it remember? So just like kids have small brain, little bigger kids have bigger brain, they can remember more in the same way. So context window is the amount of text that a language model can see and use at once while generating the response. So it's like a short-term memory. If it is small, the model will forget the earlier parts of the conversation or document once it is overflowing. If it is large, the model keeps a track of long conversations. So conversation length, longer window means the model remembers more from the chat. Document handling. So if you have long legal documents, you need a bigger context window. Cost wise also, larger context window means more expensive to compute. Have a look at this. GPT-1, which was launched in 2018, it has a context window of 512 tokens, which means around 350 words is what it can remember. You give it anything more than that, it will only remember the latest 350. Like it can remember a long email or a short news article. GPT-2, 1024 tokens, 750 words like a magazine or a blog post. GPT-3, 2048 tokens, which means around 1500 words, is like a short academic paper or a legal article. GPT 3.5, 4096 tokens, 3000 words, 6 to 8 pages of research paper. GPT 4, 8192 tokens, 6000 words, which is a long scientific paper or a comic book issue. Then look into the GPT-4 Turbo, 2023, November, 128,000 tokens, 96,000 words, a 300-page book, a whole corporate policy binder. And GPT-5 2025, more than 150,000 plus words. It can hold several books, entire legal case, or even a multi-issue comic arcs. So put this, a short story, GPT 3.5, scientific paper, GPT 4, full-length novel, GPT 4 Turbo or 5, multi-volume legal case paper, GPT 5. So here, creating a notebook over here. Essentials of generative AI. Optimizing Gen AI models. So here you are looking at the various prompting techniques. I don't know why is it written this way, but mainly about prompting techniques. And there we get started, right? Effective prompting. Then we look into the advanced prompting techniques like zero shot, few shot, chain of thought, self-consistency, tree of thoughts. You understand the concepts of pre-training and fine-tuning the Gen AI model. Okay, I will not be referring this deck throughout because this is way too simpler. We start with the prompt engineering. So today there is no one in the class who doesn't know what is a prompt. We have typed something into the chat GPT or Gemini, and there might be also many times where you didn't exactly get what you wanted. And that is exactly where our prompt engineering comes into picture. So it is not about the magic words, but it is about how you are communicating your question clearly to the AI models. So when I say an introduction to prompt engineering, you can think of it like you are speaking to AI in AI's language. So you are not actually coding, but you are orchestrating the behavior using the language. Just like how a conductor directs an orchestra without touching the instruments. Similarly, a prompt engineer directs AI to produce specific high quality outputs. So in this module, you will be learning how prompts make the things better. Like for example, look into this vague prompt, write a blog about electric cars versus a strong engineered prompt which says, write a 600-word blog about the advantages of electric cars for urban commuters, focusing on affordability, charging infrastructure, and the environmental benefits. So you can see clearly the second one gives structure, scope, context, which dramatically improves the model performance. So, what makes a good prompt? See, as we understood, prompting is all about instructing AI model like your ChatGPT or Gemini to deliver the results you want clearly, consistently, and accurately. That is, when we give a prompt, we are not just asking, we are programming through a language. A well built prompt must have clarity. So, AI should exactly know what you want. So, it's like instead of saying explain photosynthesis, you should say explain photosynthesis in simple terms suitable for 10-year-old. The next is specificity. Be as much detailed as you want. Write about your task, tone, and the target audience. So it is like saying write a professional email to client apologizing for a project delay due to supply issues. Third is the format. So it's very, very important to indicate the specified or expected format or the output type. Like me saying, give the answer in bullet points, each under 10 words. And the last one is the context, which is all about adding background information or constraints to guide the model. Like you are an HR manager drafting a remote work from home policy for mid-sized tech. So by combining these four, we are essentially teaching the model how to think within our frame. So here they are not talking about the rat cough principle, but more or less it has the same thing. Many people have invented their own ways. Rat cough is the most popular. So let's say with respect to a real-time example, when you are using ChatGPT to write a business proposal, if you just say write a proposal, you get a very generic output. And if you say you're a sales executive preparing three-page proposal for logistic clients on AI-based route optimization, keep it persuasive but data-driven, then AI suddenly produces something that you can actually use. A question to you all. Why do you think prompt engineering has become one of the most in-demand skills today? Why do you think prompt engineering has become one of the most in-demand skills today? Because input quality, so the output quality, as the input quality, so the output quality of the LLM. Very nice. Everyone is using AI tools. We have the data, but we don't know how to get it. To use LLM, we need to know how to ask the correct output. Yes, because it improves the productivity, it increases the efficiency of the Gen AI usage, and that's very, very correctly said. We can actually say that prompt engineering is like a bridge between human creativity and AI capability. It turns AI from a tool into a collaborator. So, why is prompt engineering so important? Let's try to understand this. Few points. Maximize AI potential. A powerful AI model is only as good as its prompt. When your prompts are clear and structured, the models deliver deeper insights, creativity, and accuracy. Right? For example, in marketing, a precise prompt can generate 10 targeted campaign ideas in seconds instead of 10 irrelevant slogans. Next, a second one, enhance user AI interaction. See, prompts make interaction natural, almost conversational. The better your instructions, the more human-like and useful the responses. Third is increased efficiency. Well-designed prompts reduce the rework, no iterative prompting as we were discussing yesterday. So instead of spending 15 minutes rephrasing, you get the right output for the very first time. The next one is support ethical AI usage. See, good prompts will also help you to avoid bias and ambiguity. So, what I mean by that is, let's consider over here, for example, instead of saying describe a successful CEO, you can say describe the leadership traits of a successful CEO across industries, avoiding gender bias. That is called as ethical use of AI. So it should not give more importance to males. And the last one is encourage AI literacy and creativity. The more you experiment, the better you understand how AI thinks. This encourages creative use cases from product design to uh, storytelling. If I ask ChatGPT, write a catchy caption for Instagram post, we get something generic as you see, maybe riled up, depends on your luck. So you will be getting a nice line over here, like embracing the beauty of simplicity in a chaotic world. But it's random, it's not strategic. So the difference between a generic prompt and engineered prompt is what makes this different. So your generic prompt is write a catchy caption for the Instagram post, and you get the output. And you can also see the engineered prompt where I say craft a concise and engaging caption for Instagram post featuring our relevant refreshment drink. The target audience is young adult travelers and party goers. Include 5 relevant hashtags related to our refreshment drinks. And now you see the output. It's way more different. If you see the second one, it is purpose driven. It knows the target, tone, and intent. It doesn't just create, it creates it with a context. So in the corporate world, let's say the HR wants to draft job description. He writes a prompt, write job description for data analyst versus an engineered prompt, write a concise description for data analyst in logistic company focusing on SQL, Power BI, and supply chain analytics for LinkedIn posting. Obviously, the second one gives far better results. So now, after this, we talk about the following types of prompting technique. I don't want to take you through this. I will be taking you through my own awesome examples, which will help you to understand all of this. Best practices will always be covered over there. We have already covered the best practices, but I'll just go through it once and that will complete the prompting topic. Now, see, coming on to his question, see, Amiyoj, you should always remember one very important thing. Your model doesn't know what is going on in your mind. I repeat, everyone, I hope you all agree that your computer or your chat GPT doesn't know what is going on in your mind. Do you agree to this? They are not mind readers, right? So, if you rely on the model to generate a good prompt, if you rely on ChatGPT to generate a good prompt, they can generate good as per them. You know where you can use ChatGPT or Gemini to generate a good prompt? Let's say, for example, Sandeep is very bad in English, but he knows what he has to ask, but he's not able to type it in that nice way. In that case, you can type your kacha English, right? Not so strong English in the form of a prompt. Give everything, give the role, audience, all everything inside the Radcov in your bad English and ask it to populate a nice prompt. Then that prompt you can try it out for final thing. So the end goal is because the models cannot read my mind, I have to give it each and everything, maybe in a bad English. And you can use ChatGPT or Gemini to convert it to good English. But don't rely on it completely to create a prompt for you by giving incomplete inputs. Right? Yes. So let's say, for example, if I go to ChatGPT and I say, you are a prompt engineer with 20 years of experience. I want to create the image of a view from my balcony. I stay on the 30th floor, and when I look outside my window, through the window grill, and my windows are 6 feet in height, I see an infinity view. The first thing which I see nearest to my tower is a railway yard with lush green area around the track. It occupies around half a kilometer of the view. Then after that, there is a electricity board center which is responsible for supplying electricity to the nearby area. Then there is a beautiful road called as Palm Beach Road, which is one of the premium roads of Navi Mumbai. Ahead of Palm Beach Road, there are mangroves, and ahead of mangroves, there is an infinite sea view. I also see through that sea, there is Atal Setu Bridge, which goes from one part to another. I want to draft a perfect image using that. Could you please formulate a perfect prompt? And now, say, I have given what is there in my mind in Kacha words, and then I am getting a nice prompt. No problem. If this is the one, then I go on to ChatGPT and I say, create an image. A breathtaking infinity view from the 30th floor balcony of a modern high-rise apartment in Navi Mumbai, seen through 6-foot tall glass window with sleek metal grille in the foreground. Below, a vast railway yard stretches across lush green surroundings, with train tracks glinting under the sunlight. Beyond the railway yard lies an electricity board center with transformer structure and utility buildings. A little further ahead, an elegant Palm Beach road curves gracefully, lined up with the palm trees and moving cars, showcasing premium urban vibe. Past the road, dense mangroves spread across the landscape, leading to shimmering blue Arabian Sea that extends infinitely to the horizon. In the distance, the iconic Atal Setu Bridge, my bad, Atal Setu Bridge arcs across the sea, connecting the land masses through the golden evening sky. The scene is bright, realistic, and expansive, capturing the tranquil beauty and the depth of Navi Mumbai skyline. And now that is what I call as an awesome prompt. And if you see carefully, it has taken care of everything. So you see a railway track and greenery around. Yes, this is the Palm Beach with the palm trees around, and this is the Atal Setu Bridge. A perfect scenic view from my window, which I see. It's not exactly identical, but I can give it more better prompt to make it even more identical. But that's the almost, it's like an 80% VAT matching view, which I'm getting from my window right now. And this is what you can do, Amitoj. Is that clear to everyone? That was a very good question raised by him. Right? Got it, Amitoj. Everyone else, how you can use it, but your sentiments must be conveyed to the model. Then only it can help you. If you are not able to convey your sentiment, then it will populate by its own, and you may not get the thing exactly what you want. Others also please confirm. Is that clear? So communicate task, context, this in a paragraph or voice text, and then use the prompt coach to make it better. Yes, that's correct. Okay, let's get started with it. Shouldn't ChatGPT have a template to help us? No, see, honestly speaking, all these templates are designed by people. Basically, these templates help the newbies to understand what things to be given without missing out on anything. Practically, there is nothing called as a template. There is nothing called as a template. It's all about giving out whatever is in your head to the LLM so that it can generate. If you give it incomplete input, it will generate incomplete output. So see, why is the role important? See, if you go and ask a beggar, explain how is your day. If you go and ask a doctor, explain how is your day. If you go and ask an engineer, explain how is your day. All the responses are going to be completely different. And GPT can take any of these auras. So the way you frame your question is going to be responsible for the way you get the answer. So there is nothing called as framework ideally, but frameworks are just guiding factors which are helping you to ensure that you are not forgetting any information while you are giving the inputs. That is it. So if you want any kind of principle, if you go to Google or LinkedIn, you will find a hell lot of prompt engineering guides. The best one which I find is Ratkoff. Best one is Ratkoff. All right. It is the best one because it will ensure that even if you are learning it for the first time, you will have checklist. R is covered, A is covered, T is covered, C, O, F, F. Are they covered? Yes, I'm done. Share the prompt. Simple. Right. See, LLMs are trained on numbers. So they don't have capability to look into all of these things. So there is no framework. Simple. Okay. Now, so starting fresh, what is a prompt? I know you already know it, but I'm just setting the context. I know you already know it, huh? So, I mean, don't come to an opinion that Darshan sir, this is repetition of what you taught. It's just setting the context in a couple of minutes. But this is all my way. I'm not using any deck over here. Everything is my way. So prompt is nothing but an input or an instruction given to the large language model like ChatGPT, GPT-4 or Claude, right? So it is like asking a smart assistant a question, but how you phrase the question is going to greatly affect the answer. So you think of a prompt like giving instruction to your junior colleague. If you are vague, the output is going to be poor and off track. If you are clear, the output would be, if you are clear, structured, and detailed, your output will be accurate and more useful. Therefore, prompt is nothing but the instruction that guides the model. So, what happens when you actually give a prompt? Behind the scene, the prompt triggers the prediction engine. LLM takes your input text, tokenize it, that is, break it into small pieces, and then it will predict the most likely next word, that is the token, over and over again until it stops. And thereby, it will form a complete coherent output based on your instruction. The better the prompt, the better the prediction. So, poor prompt is wasted time, generic output, hallucinations. Good prompt is useful summaries, structured insights, and accurate automation. Right. So, prompt is nothing but the input to control the output. So, always understand that a prompt is not just a question. It can be a command like summarize this report. It can be a role play. You are a product manager. It can be a constraint, limit to 100 words. It can be a format written in JSON. It can be an example. Here is a sample input output pair. Right. This is how it can be. So we understand that a prompt is your handle to steer the LLM in the right direction which you want. Then, after that, the next one. Let's understand what is a good prompt. A good prompt is the one that is clear, specific, structured, and goal driven. So, if you read through this, you are a senior technical writer at Oracle. Write 100-word summary explaining how relational databases work, intended for new hire with no database background. Now, let's understand why is the above prompt considered as a good prompt. Number one, it defines the role, senior writer. Number two, it defines the audience, new hire, that too non-technical. Number three, it is setting the length constraint, 100 words. And number four, it specifies the content type, which is relational databases. Or let me consider another example. Summarize this quarterly report from the Oracle Fusion ERP in 5 bullet points for CFO, focusing on revenue, expense, and the anomalies. There is a clear audience, CFO. Task is there, 5 bullet points, and the focus is on specific sections of the data. So, let me take you through the prompt ladder. I call this as a prompt ladder. The first is I'm giving it a bad prompt. Explain OCI versus I am giving it a good prompt. You are a cloud solution architect at Oracle. Explain Oracle Cloud Infrastructure in bracket OCI to a group of finance executives who are considering migrating workloads from on-premise systems. Use simple language and limit to 200 words. Tell me over here, what makes the second one better? What makes the second one better? Role, target audience, role, audience, and constraints. Perfect. Cool. So, if that is the scenario, then let's go through prompt ladder or prompt evolution. Understand, and we will execute each of this. Number one, I'm giving a bad prompt. The prompt here says, write about time management. You know why is this a bad prompt? The reason I say this is a bad prompt is because there is no audience, no purpose, no format, no clarity, and it is too open-ended. So, if I add an audience, you are a productivity coach, write about time management, right? So, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll only add role rather than this. Let me only add role. So I say, you are a productivity coach, write about time management. See, now, definitely the model is going to have a guiding tone. It's not going to be academic or random. But now I add the audience. You are a productivity coach, write about time management for college students. See, now because of that, one thing is for sure, that the language and the examples which now will be generated out of this prompt will be aligned to the context of students' life, classes, distractions, love affairs, or any other student affairs, and study time. I am now adding in the task focus over here. Your productivity coach, write 3 time management tips for college students. Now, at this point of time, the model will focus on delivering practical, usable tips instead of generic essays. One last thing, I am adding constraints and format. You are a productivity coach. Write exactly 3 time management tips for college students. Use bullet points. Keep each tip under 25 words. That is what is going to make the output more concise and usable in slide or handout. And finally, the prompt which I give is this. You're a productivity coach. Write exactly 3 time management tips for college students. Use bullet points, avoid technical jargons, make the tone casual and encouraging. So let's understand each of this. So let's say I'm going to ChatGPT and I write a bad prompt. Write about time management. See the output. You can see the output. It's good, but it's generic. If I say, right, you're a productivity coach, so it will act as that role, write about time management. So role is added and it is talking as a productivity coach. Right, schedule and everything given, guard your focus and all. Output change drastically. Now I'm adding audience. For whom are you speaking? For college students. So now you see how to balance classes, studying, and life without burning out. Know where your time goes, plan your week, prioritize the purpose, use the Pomodoro or focus sprints, which is 25 minutes of focus, 5 minutes break, and repeat 4 times. So this is way more better. Now I am going to add the task focus as well. See, it has given me how many? 6, 7, 8, 8 outputs. Right? 3 time management tips. Tip 1, 3 block day. Tip 2, apply 2 minute rule for small tasks. Tip 3, schedule your rest like an appointment. Then let me add constraints and format. Use bullets. Keep each tip under 25 words. You see the output? Drastic change. Drastic change. And the last one is the final optimized one. I said make the tone casual and encouraging. Plan your week on Sunday, classes, study blocks, and downtime. You will start Monday feeling in control. See, it's encouraging, right? Do your hardest thing first. It's the total motivation booster. Use short breaks to stretch, snack, or breathe. Don't scroll aimlessly. Very important. Yes. So we understand at this point of time that a prompt should have always role, audience, task, constraints, format, and tone. In fact, if I continue with that Oracle specific example, explain Oracle ERP Fusion. So it is failing. The reason it is failing is we don't know who is asking, who is this explanation for, what is the depth or scope, what is the output format, and there are no business usefulness. So I'm going to add the role to this, and I say you are a senior Oracle consultant. Explain Oracle ERP, Oracle Fusion ERP. Now, this is exactly where we are adding domain authority. Now, the response comes from the expert tone, avoiding shallow definitions. Further, I am going to add the audience. You are a senior Oracle consultant. Explain Oracle Fusion ERP to newly hired business analysts from a non-technical background. Now the model adjusts the complexity. It uses simpler terms, it avoids jargons, and it frames the explanation around the business processes. Mhm. Now, it's time for us to add the task focus. You are a senior Oracle consultant. Explain Oracle Fusion ERP to newly hired business analysts from technical background. Focus only on what it is, its key modules, and how enterprises use it. This is going to reduce the noise. The model will not give any history or licensing information or any unnecessary technicalities. Just business applicable overview. Further, I'll add format and constraints. You are Oracle consultant, senior Oracle consultant. Explain Oracle Fusion ERP to newly hired business analysts from non-technical background. Focus only on what it is, its key models, and how enterprises use it. Return the answer in 5 bullet points. Each bullet must be under 25 words. Avoid technical jargons and acronyms. So I can see the output is going to be clear now, scannable, executive friendly, and ready to use in onboarding docs or presentations. The final optimized prompt over here, I say, being more specific. Your senior Oracle consultant, your task is to help onboard newly hired business analyst with low prior ERP experience. Explain Oracle Fusion ERP, focusing on what it does, its key modules, finance, SCM, HCM. So that's context, right? Very important. How large companies use it in practice? Use 5 bullet points, 25 words per bullet point. Avoid technical jargons, abbreviations. Make it easy for business reader to grasp. If I just go to ChatGPT and if I give this prompt, you can see the output is as expected. That is something good that we see. So you're asking for the prompt structure, right? Let me give you a reusable prompt structure for a high quality output. You are a specify the role or expert identity. Your task is to do something specific based on the context, audience, who the output is for, and then the instructions. Focus on what, output format what, constants what, and optional what. Read it. Cool. So Manu, I think this can help you. right? Yes. But there is no specific template, this is just my generated one. Then, so if I'm talking about this, let's say from the use case perspective, let us consider the scene of onboarding a new HR analyst with a summary of Oracle Fusion HCM. So let me take you through the filled in prompt, exactly in the prompts template style. You are a senior Oracle HCM consultant. Your task is to explain Oracle Fusion based on the context. A new HR analyst with no technical background has joined the team. Audience, new business user, non-technical. Focus on what HCM does, key modules, how enterprises use it. Output 5 bullet points, constants given, keep the tone simple and friendly. So this is what we can think of now. Now we go on to the prompting techniques. So that context was enough. Now we move on to the prompting techniques. The first prompting technique is zero shot prompting. So zero shot prompting means asking the model to perform a task without giving any example. See, short itself means example. Zero shot prompting means zero example prompting. Zero shot prompting means zero example prompting. So it means asking the model to perform a task without giving any example. Whatever things we have tried from yesterday till today 10 a.m., all of them were by default zero shot prompts only. So it is basically a technique where you ask AI to perform a task or answer a question without any prior training on that specific task. And the AI is going to use its general knowledge and understanding to generate the response, even though it hasn't been explicitly been taught, even though it hasn't explicitly been taught. So here, you entirely rely on the instructions in your prompt, and the model uses its pre-trained knowledge to complete the task. So when should you go for this kind of prompting? So you go for zero shot prompting when the task is simple and generic. The LLM is likely to have seen similar task during its training because it is taught on the entire web data. So if it has seen something like that in the past, it will do it correctly now. It is also useful when you want quick results without crafting examples. So I would say think of it like you give the job description but no sample work, just clear instructions. Let me take an example of sentiment analysis. So here I go to ChatGPT and I say, you can analyze the emotions expressed in the text. Tell me if the following sentence is positive, negative, or neutral. I had a fantastic day at the park. It expresses positive emotions. Words like fantastic convey this. As simple as that. Or consider the example of creative text generation with the style transfer. Rewrite the following nursery rhyme in the style of Shakespearean sonnet. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up upon the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. But how? Like a Shakespearean sonnet. O gentle spark that gilds the vault of night. What art thou? Gems that heaven's hand hath sent. Thy silver beams dot pierce the wheels of night and whisper secret mortal ne'er forget. So that is the idea behind it. Let me give it a good zero shot prompt. I say, you are a Oracle HCM solution consultant. Explain the purpose of Oracle Fusion supply chain management to a logistic manager who is new to the ERP system. Instructions focus on what it does, why it is helpful in real world chain operations. Use 4 bullet points. Avoid technical terms like API or architecture. Make the tone practical and business friendly. So, this is what is important. So, time to understand. When you talk about zero shot prompting, it is best for general tasks like summarizing, classifying, rewording, explaining. But there is a risk. If the prompt is vague, the model's output may go off track. So the success factors over here purely depends on your Ratkov principle, your precise task, role, audience, output format, and the tone. Okay. The next is one-shot prompting. So one-shot prompting means you are giving the model one shot, one single example of a task along with its actual input and how you want it to process. So basically, it can be like, think of it like this. Here is how I want it to be done. Now you try. So I'll give it an example and say that, hey, this is how I want it to be done. Now you try. So let's understand this with the help of an example. Examples are best to understand this. I come to ChatGPT and I say, you are a creative writing assistant. Here is an example about a cat. Whiskers twitching, eyes so bright. A furry friend, a playful sprite. Paws that pad and claws that scratch. A purring cuddle, a loving catch. Write a short poem in the same style about a dog. You see the output, whiskers twitching, eyes so bright, tail a wag and eyes that gleam, matching. A furry friend, a playful sprite. A loyal heart, a bounding dream. Paws that pad and claws that scratch. Paws that race through the field and fog. A purring cuddle, a loving catch. A faithful friend, my joyful dog. 4 sentences here, 4 sentences here. Number of words are also matching. Tone is also matching. Rhyme. Bites, bright, sprite, scratch, catch. A B A B. Gleam, dream, fog, dog. A B A B scheme. That is the power. I'll show you one real-time example how I use it. If I go to our Engage X portal, and 2 sessions are getting over. As per calendar, I need one more session on 11th, right? I need one more session on 11th of October for your cohort. So I come over here and say, write a professional email requesting extra session on 11th of October, Saturday, for the below cohort. In between, I am taking timings. This is your cohort ID. This is cohort name or course name. And this is one moment, I need water. Add the reason stating that the learners are interactive and the content needs some more time considering the interactivity with the participants. I request you for one additional session. So Alabaks is my point of contact. I'm saying write a professional email to Alabaks requesting extra session on 11th October Saturday for the below cohort. And I say enter. And I get an email. Request for additional session on 11th October. Cohort is this. Dear Mr. Alabaks, I hope this finds you well. I request you an additional session for this. Cohort details are here. The learners in this cohort have been highly interactive and deeply engaged during the session. Considering the rich discussion and the pace required to ensure conceptual clarity, we would need some additional time to comprehensively cover the remaining content. Hence, I kindly request your approval for one extra session, 11th October, to ensure that the participants receive complete learning experience as intended. Regards this. Now you tell me what prompt I gave. It is falling under which technique? Zero shot or one shot? This prompt is falling under zero shot or one shot. Yes, absolutely correct. It is zero shot. I didn't give any example. Now I'll do one thing. I'll go to my mail and let's say right. So this is one of the older emails. This is my writing style. This is my writing style. How I usually write, Dear Sayyadji, I request you to schedule 2 extra sessions for this. As the learners are engaging deeply with the content, these additional sessions will help them address the concerns and successful outcomes. I would appreciate if you confirm it over the email. Once these are added to our EngageX portal, thank you for your support. So I copy this and I say, my writing style is as below. And I paste it, just randomly paste it. Rewrite the above in my writing style. My writing style is as below. I copied everything and I said rewrite the above. And do you see over here, dear Allah Baksh G? You see that respect which I give in the email, it has taken. Dear Allah Baksh Ji, I kindly request you to schedule one extra session for this cohort. I kindly request you to schedule this for this. As learners are deeply engaged with this, As learners are highly interactive and engaging deeply with the content, an additional session will help accommodate the discussion and ensure comprehensive coverage of the topics. I would appreciate if you confirm when they are added to the EngageX portal. I would appreciate if you confirm once it is confirmed and they are added to our EngageX portal. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for your kind support. Warm regards, Dr. Darshan Ingle. Warm regards, Dr. Darshan Ingle. And this is where I copy. This is where I go to compose and I paste it, and you see that, and I sent it. This is the power of one shot prompting. Are you all able to understand? The model is exactly copying my style. So tomorrow when you write email using ChatGPT, anyone can easily catch, अरे ये तो ChatGPT से बना है इसने. But now in this case, tell me frankly, does this email look like ChatGPT generated or Darshan self-typed? Tell me. Is it looking like ChatGPT generated email or something which I have taken efforts to type it by myself? Self-typed, right? Yes. And the thing is, I have used ChatGPT for it. So the model has copied my tone, style, the way I write, the way I talk, the way I use the slangs and everything. And this is one of the very, very important technique called as one-shot prompting. Give it one example and it will learn to copy that style. Yes. So two things over. Teaching is also over. At the same time, the email which I actually had to drop is over. So chalo, two in one things. I am happy. Sir, in zero shot example, in your signature, it had some additional info. How did it get that on your? Yeah, the reason it got that is because I'm using the plus version. In the settings. There is memory somewhere here only. Personalization or schedules, data control. Somewhere memory is there. It's there here only. I don't remember. Somewhere memory is there. So it knows. It knows about me. Yeah, here it's there. I don't know. Every time I find it today only, it's in the account. I can see account. Yeah, this is there, but there is proper memory where it shows in the account profile. It used to properly, here. In the memory part, if I click on manage, see, these are some of the older prompts which it has saved. Want a 4-day training outline for GitHub Copilot, or do not want tasks like this, right? Is Python expert with 20 years of experience. And you have so many things. Somewhere over here, it has saved about me as well. I can, of course, delete it. In fact, so if I go to ChatGPT and I say, who am I? And look into your memory and tell me, who am I? Because I'm in the temporary mode. If I go into, I see I was in the temporary mode, right? I don't want the chats to be saved. But if I do it like this, you can see you are Dr. Darshan Ingle, a principal consultant, expert trainer in AI, Gen AI, agentic AI with 2 decades of real world experience. You regularly design and deliver enterprise level AI programs for top organizations, including Oracle, Walmart, CGI, John Deere, Philips, and Deloitte, tailored for B2B use cases. You are known for your structured teaching style, starting from fundamentals and logically progressing to advanced industry oriented implementations, whether it is R programming for public health, Python for FedEx, or Langra for Grok multi-agent. You are also a leading you also lead consulting engagements in the manufacturing process. You know why it gave this? Because my wife also uses the same ChatGPT account. She is a PhD in production engineering. So she also uses the same account. Therefore, it mixed that. This is also not mine. Detailed SOP, JD, dashboard, Excel tracker. She uses that. You are deeply involved in personal finance and property investment. Yes, this is about me. Balance between life and this. Example, Joker uncle for your daughter Sanvika. I also use it for fun. So yes. Good. Sir, this might be a silly question, but in deep learning, we train the model with maybe a million parameters and still struggle with the accuracy and loss. Very nice. How do you ask so nice questions? Models like GPT, though have billions of parameters, generate human-like text almost perfectly. What exactly changes at that scale? Is that the number of parameters and data, ideally both, or something fundamental in how these models learn and generalize? Third, all the three things. Number of parameters are huge. The data is entire web data, so the data is really huge. And the architecture that you are using, though it is neural network, but you are going to use the transformer architecture. Now you'll be learning into that architecture in the next course, Amitoj. So the whatever you have mentioned, data, neural network, and the architecture, everything contributes over here. Okay, cool. Great question. Then, so we understand one-shot prompting technique. This is also helpful in code generation. So if you look into this, I say you are a code helper who can write simple Python functions. Here is an example of a function that adds two numbers. Def add xy. Then there is a doc string like a comment. Add two numbers together. Return x plus y, and then I'm giving a call and hashtag followed by output. Write a Python function that checks if the number is even. You see def is even, doc string just like this, return x plus y is returning this. Example usage is with the output given, so you can see 2 given. So that is the beauty of one-shot prompting. I'll give you one more example, and this goes from the creative text format. I say you can create scripts for short comedy sketches. Here is an example. Scene a library, two friends are whispering. Friend 1, "Psst, did you finish reading that giant book?" Friend 2, "Shh, not even close. This thing is longer than my patience." Write a short script for a movie trailer in a similar humorous style. And there it goes. It will follow the way you asked it. Why one-shot prompting works better than the zero shot? Because it adds clarity through demonstrations. It reduces ambiguity in the output format and it shows the tone, length, and focus explicitly. But doesn't mean that you keep on using it everywhere. It is best used when the task is slightly more complex. When you want a preferred tone or a structure, or in the cases when the model sometimes misinterprets the instruction. These all are the cases where it can be helpful. So let's consider a task. The task is to reword a sentence to make it sound more useful. Let's say you are a writing assistant. Your task is to reword informal sentences into professional sounding alternatives. Example, informally, we say, I need this done ASAP or it's gonna be a mess. The professional tone of the same is, it's important to complete this task promptly to avoid complications. Now, reword the following. Can you send me that report by tonight? Can you send me that report by tonight? And now you see, could you please send me the report by the end of the day? It is helpful, no doubt. Let's look at a use case. I want to reword a service log into client facing update email. Let's say the prompt is here. You are a support communication specialist at Oracle. All of my examples are mainly aligned to one company. Of course, you can change it. It is just to explain you. I did generate it for my Oracle cohort. So the examples are specific to that, but you can change it. I'm taking general examples. I'm taking B2B examples. Rest all you are smart enough to change the context. So you are a support communication specialist at Oracle. Your task is to take the raw internal notes from a service request and turn them into professional client update. Example, user said payroll sync failed. We checked the logs and found it is a configuration issue with the cost center segment. Client update. How do you inform it to the client? Our team has identified the configuration issue affecting the payroll sync. We are working to correct the cost center settings and will update you shortly. Now, do the same for this internal. Customer says leave balance not showing in HCM. Found BI report filter missing ORG ID. Fixed and reran report. Client update. Our team has identified that the leave balance reporting was not displaying correctly due to missing organization filter in the BI report configuration. The filter has been added and the report has been ran successfully. You should see the correct leave balance information. You see over here how much helpful this is going to be. Okay. Now we get into the next one, which is the few shot prompting. Now see, what is few shot prompting? Where your one shot prompting fails, your few shot prompting comes as a rescue. So few shot prompting involves giving the model not one shot, but 2 to 5 high quality examples before presenting the actual input. So this technique kind of trains the model in the moment. So it is like showing the model a mini training set with the prompts. So why few shot prompting works best is because it will remove the ambiguity completely. It will help the model learn the format, tone, task boundaries, and preferred vocabulary. And it is especially helpful for complex, domain specific, or highly stylized tasks. So let's understand this with the help of examples. You can analyze the sentiment of a text, but also identify the underlying emotions. Here are some examples. The movie was okay, I guess. This is neutral with a hint of boredom. Sentence 2. I finished the project that day. So relieved. Positive with relief as a specific emotion. Analyze the sentiment of this sentence and identify any specific emotions present. I missed my flight, but luckily I was able to rebook it for tomorrow. Slightly positive or mixed. The sentence starts with negative event, missed my flight, but ends on a positive resolution, was able to rebook it for tomorrow. The emotional tone shifts from disappointment to relief or gratitude. And this is what we understand. Or consider, consider this prompt. Dialogue generation with personality, where I say you can generate conversation in different styles. Here are some examples between two friends. Alex, who is outgoing, Ben, who is shy. Alex says, hey Ben, did you see that new movie everyone's talking about? Ben mumbling, yeah, looks interesting. Alex, let's grab some pizza after work. Ben, sounds good. Thanks for asking. Write the next line in the conversation, maintaining the personalities of Alex and Ben. Alex, so what do you think of the movie? I thought it was hilarious. Ben shrugs slightly. Yeah, it had some funny parts. I like the scene with the car chase. That was pretty wild. So you can see how it works. Therefore, that is few shot prompting. But the thing is, when do you use it? Only when zero shot or one shot are failing to give consistent result, then only. Or when the format or the structure is crucial, like summaries or transformations, you can use it. You can also use it when the task involves non-obvious transformations, like mapping the internal tech roles to the human-friendly summaries. Right. So that is one thing. Let's consider a task of converting casual sentences into formal message. So my prompt is like this, where I say, you are a tone adjustment assistant. Your job is to convert informal messages into formal business language. Example one, informal. I'm not going to make it to the meeting. Formal. I will be unable to attend the meeting. Example 2, can you fix this ASAP? Formal. Could you please address this issue as soon as possible? Example 3, informal. Let me know if you need help. Formal. Please let me know if you would require any assistance. Now convert this. Sorry, I messed up the report. I apologize for the error in the report. So use it only on a purpose that's important. Consider a Oracle specific use case where we want to convert a raw ticket, a raw service ticket logs into polished customer update messages. So let's say you are an Oracle support engineer writing status updates for customers. Your task is to convert internal service ticket logs into client-facing updates that are clear, professional, and non-technical. Example 1. Internal. Customer complained that the payroll isn't syncing, found errors in journal batch. Recalculated journal sync completed. Client update. The payroll issue was resolved by correcting the journal batch. Sync has been completed now successfully. Second example. User couldn't run OTBI report due to access error. Added user to the BI consumer group, issue resolved. Client update, the reporting access issue has been resolved by updating the user permissions. The user can now run the OTBI report. One last one. Fusion Expense mobile app not loading for India users restarted, affecting its service performance back to normal. The temporary issue affecting Fusion Expense mobile has been resolved. Service performance has returned to normal. Why will I say restart and all? Now convert this. Candidates onboarding stalled. Background check API timeout. Restarted integration. Process completed after retry. The onboarding process was caused due to a temporary delay in the background check integration. The connection was restarted and the onboarding has now completed successfully. So you can see over here how it is helpful. Okay. Now I have covered a lot. You have the access to it because this sheet is there in your drive only. I want you to practice. I want you to practice. And I'm going to give you some tasks as well. As an Adobe marketing communication director, write a simple 150-word blog post for freelancer designs. New, curious about, but cautious about AI tools, about launching new AI-powered design assistant in the Adobe Creative Cloud. Article should include what it does, how it will help the designers using it. Yeah, that's good. Are you getting a nice output for it, Manu? More than me who is validating the things, it is Manu only who has to validate it because you know how the output looks like. Even if I rerun it, my output would be different. So you rate your output on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best. You rate it. Yes, Amitosh? Where is your prompt? You have just written task 3 prompt and everyone has to work on it. I'm not able to copy here. No, that should not be a problem. Everyone is doing that. Check it out. Check it out. Everyone has to solve it, right? As I tell you, I'm not playing in a movie for you. You are in a technical class, so you are expected to work along. It is very easy to say that, okay, you type this prompt and you got the output. But the concern is, are you able to type it by yourself? Okay, output is good. I'm just trying to understand if it is covering all the aspects. Cool. Show how it helps designers by saving time, creativity. What is this? Sandeep, without prompt, you have shared the output, I guess so. And use the tone, this. Don't you think it's starting very abruptly? Show how it helps designer by saving time. I'm not understanding the thing. Then Sanu says you're a part of Adobe's marketing communication team. The company is launching new AI-powered design assistant in the Adobe Creative Cloud for freelance designers who are curious but cautious about using the AI tools. Prepare a summary for marketing director to explain its usage benefits for promotional email or blog post. Good. Avoid technical terms. Keep it easy and simple. Okay. Looks like you use GPT for generating the output, but looks good. I'm okay. Sandeep, okay, yeah. How to be copywriter doing this? The goal is to do this, explain. So this very nice prompt. End with motivational call to action. Very nice thought. Great. Amigo says use the same approach. First share all the details myself and then ask it for refinement. Okay, okay. That is also fine. Go ahead with the next one. Maybe another 5 minutes and the remaining thing you can take it as homework. Question is how big a prompt should be written. It's not overdoing it. The prompt, there is no limitation on how big it has to be written. Just ensure your prompt is clear, concise, and covering all the aspects that you expect it to be. There is nothing called as big or small. It is just about finding a sweet spot. So, see, ideally, when I'm saying that summarize this and I give a very, very big paragraph, it can be lengthy as well. So, that is not a problem. Are your entire sentiments are your entire sentiments conveyed to the LLM? If yes, then are you getting a good output? If yes, then it was a good one. If no, then you have to think whether I am less or I am more. If you are less, reiterate on the prompting to make it better. And if it is overdoing it, then reduce the inputs or give some clarification. Yes, so it depends on the output quality. Introduction to PLCs, components of PLCs, how they control the machinery, programming basics, common applications, troubleshooting the PLC systems, preventive maintenance, and summary. Very nice. So fast to generate so nice outputs. That is the power of prompt engineering. Okay. So here we complete with the prompting techniques from zero shot to one shot to few shot. Now, the next prompting technique that we have to cover is chain of thought prompting. So, chain of thought prompting encourages the model to break down the reasoning into intermediate steps rather than jumping directly to the final answer. So, if you get into this paper, yes, this is the official research paper by Google on chain of thoughts prompting. So, launched on 10 January 2023 by the Google Research Brain team. And the funda is very simple. If you look into this, what they say, have a look at this example. Left side, standard prompting. Roger has 5 tennis balls. He buys 2 more cans of the tennis balls. Each can has 3 tennis balls. How many tennis balls does he have now? The answer to that is 11. So one shot given. Then I ask the question. The cafeteria has 23 apples. If they used 20 to make lunch and bought 6 more, how many apples do they have? Model outputted as 27, which was wrong. But look into chain of thought prompting. What I did differently is rather than saying the answer is 11, I explained how the answer came out to be 11. Roger started with 5 balls, 2 cans of 3 tennis balls, which means 6 balls. 5 plus 6 is 11. And then I asked my question and it gave the answer. So if you look over here, see, this is the performance of the pathway language model, which is Google's state-of-the-art large language model. And this is using the chain of thought prompting. And these are the same results using the standard prompting. So you can see the solver rate has boosted a lot. The same on GPT went from 33 to 55. So this technique is helpful. So see, what is exactly chain of thoughts prompting? See, if I go over here and if I say, write a program to calculate factorial of a number in Python. Write a program to calculate factorial of a number in Python. Just tell me, is the prompt sufficient? Is the prompt sufficient? It is giving me first approach, which is iterative approach. In accepting the number, factorial is equal to 1, checking if the number is less than 0. If it's equal to 0, else giving a call. And it is a recursive call. No, it's a non-recursive call. And here is a recursive call. And third is using the built-in library. Tell me, is the output good or not? In your opinion, this prompt gave us output. Tell me if it is good or not as per you. Three approaches printed. Yes, right? Yes, I was expecting yes only. It is a good output. We need not give the rat cough and everything over here. But it is not following the way I wanted it. You know what I mean to say by that? See here. I say, write a program to calculate factorial of a number step by step. step by step. First step, accept the number from the user. Check if the number is of any other data type other than integer. If yes, handle the exception gracefully and keep on accepting the number from the user till it is of the correct data type. If the number is integer, then check, is the number negative? And if yes, then print factorial of negative number cannot be computed. If the number is 0, then print factorial of 0 is 1 as per the rule of mathematics. In all other cases, give a call to the function recursive, which will be responsible for calculating the factorial of a number and return the result. Catch the result in the main function in a variable called as print the output as factorial of 5 is 120. And now, see what I did differently, you tell me. What I did differently as compared to this, write a program to calculate factorial of a number. What I did differently over here, in your own words, tell me what I did differently. No, there is no one-shot prompt. No, no, no. There is no one-shot prompt. There is no example. Make points and explain specific programming requirements. So can I say I kind of wrote a pseudo code or the steps in which the LLM should look at the problem, right? Yes. That is one thing clear, Manu, but that is not the main crux of the prompt. I understand I have given that. I thought you are referring to that only, but the main crux of the prompt is not that. Exactly, yes, what Rahul said. Proper instructions on how you are expecting the function to be. This is called as the chain of thoughts. The way I want the code to be written, my style, I am giving it over here. Structure, functional step. Do you think do you think my inputs will be heard by the GPT-5 model or they will be ignored? What do you think? Will they be heard or they will be ignored? They will be heard? Okay. Let's check it out and understand the difference. How chain of thoughts is different from the zero shot prompting. Meanwhile, I'm just pasting it and see just thinking around things. And now, let's see. If you see carefully over here, factorial of 5. I didn't type the number 5. That is also taken care of. Let's see main function. while true, because it will keep on accepting unless integer is there. Accept the input, try to convert it to integer, and if it is not able to be converted, give a value error. Keep on doing that. Then if the number is less than 0, print factorial of negative number cannot be computed. This message is exactly same as what I typed. A factorial's f is also not capital. It has hurt to me to that extent. Factorial of 0 is 1 as per the rule of mathematics. It has hurt to me to that extent. Give a call to facto of cal, and that is the name of the function which I gave, and I asked it to save the result into fac underscore res in caps. It heard me. Control goes from here to here. If n is equal to 1, return 1, else n is equal to factor of n minus 1. That's good. Then after that, what I have to do? See, I have to print the result like factorial. See, this is how I want the result now. Factorial of FIVE is 120. FIVE. So I say I'm giving a call to convert number to words by passing the number which is 5. Let's say assume I'm giving 5. It's gonna give a call over here. Alright, accepting integer and returning a string. So it has written a logic. If n is equal to 0, return 0. Then I have a list. Ones, 1, 2, 3. Tens is 10, 11, 12. Tens is 20, 30, 40. Scales is 10 raised to 9 billion and so on. So here there is a function. If x is less than 10, if the number is less than 10, return ones of x. So if it is 9, if it is 5, the number 5 will be replaced by FIVE. If it is between 10 to 20, give a call to this and so on. Some heavy logic written, and then it will get the words and then it will print that. Does that work? Well, online Python editor. Run. Enter the integer. If I say 5, factorial of 5 is 120. Run. 2. Factorial of TWO is 2. Run. Factorial of TEN is this. Run. 18. Factorial of 18 is this. Run. 12.21. Invalid input. Please try again. Darshan. Invalid input. Please try again. True. Invalid input. Please try again. 4. Factorial of FOUR is 24. So you can understand the level of customization which I get because of chain of thoughts. The entire magic is in this word, step by step, and then giving it. In fact, if I go over here and I copy this, you'll find it. The idea is that it mimics a step by step thought process. So first, chain of thought in principle allows the model to decompose multi-step problems into intermediate steps, which allows additional computations. And there are many examples which they have given over here. You can just go through the ones which are available in the first 6. You can just go through a few of them. I didn't get your question. Can it be given in multiple prompts? Multiple in the sense? It has to go in a single shot only. Okay, you mean to say iterative prompting, one after other? No, no, no. In a single shot only. In a single shot. And there was one question asked by Amitoj earlier. Sir, one question. Accuracy of this content. Do you rely on it? Or we double check the actual output since we have started over relying on the outputs more or less? No, no, of course. Unless and until you validate your output, you cannot consider it as done. Models can hallucinate at any point of time. So checking the output is something which is very, very important in all the scenarios. I mean, there are many ways to look at it, Manu. That can also be done, definitely. One more. Let us think step by step to solve this problem. We need to find the area of the rectangle with length of 5 centimeter and width of 3 centimeter. What is the formula for the area of the rectangle? Apply the formula with the given length and width. And then what is the thing? So it will exactly follow the steps. If I go to ChatGPT and do that, it will follow step 1, step 2 and answer. I'm not aware of what is this thing, Microsoft Prompt Orchestration Language. What is that? Step 1, 2, 3. What is that? And how come I'm not aware of it? I'm not aware of it, Sandeep. I may not be able to answer this question. It is the YAML. Okay. No. Framework for creating prompts. So POM is a markup language like HTML, CSS, or VIBE for structuring the prompts. So presentation, role, task, example. What step by step is prompting technique? And then I say, let me look at example of each. Mhm. Okay, it's like the XML or YML, POML language. Okay. No, no, this is different. This is different. This has a structure. Your prompt doesn't have a structure. So this is definitely not the same. Right. So why it works is because models are better at reasoning when allowed to explain the path to answer. And chain of thoughts reduces the hallucination, improves the transparency, and especially for the non-obvious outputs. Plus, it encourages logical consistency and enables auditing of the tasks. Right. Okay. Then the thing is, when should you use chain of thoughts for multi-step business decisions? Logical deduction. Is this SLA violation valid? Root cause analysis, and when the model answers are vague or confident. Guys, just give me 30 seconds. Okay. Then it is also useful when you are looking for a logical deduction, like the SLA violation is valid or not, or for root cause analysis. Right. Then one more example here. The task is I want to reason through a word problem. So if there is a prompt, if a shirt costs $30 and there is 20% discount, what is the final price? Answer is $24. With the so with chain of thoughts, I say let's think step by step. First, I say find 20% of 30. Next, subtract the discount. Then print the final price one by one. Right? So this is what is chain of thoughts. I'll give you one more use case. where I say root cause analysis of delayed procurement request in the Oracle Fusion procurement. Okay. So the prompt is, you are a senior Oracle procurement analyst. A manager has asked why a requisition took long time to convert into a purchase order. And then I say, use step-by-step reasoning to analyze this scenario and conclude the result. Scenario. So use step-by-step reasoning to analyze this scenario and conclude the root cause. Scenario one, this. Just read through it. That's the prompt. Now the last one. Not last, actually, this is the second last one. Tree of thoughts prompting. Now, tree of thoughts prompting, you can consider this like the elder brother of chain of thoughts. For example, imagine you are confused on taking a business decision. Let's say for solving a business problem, there are three possible approaches. Which one will you choose? Option one, two, or three? Now, that thing can be evaluated step by step with the help of tree of thoughts prompting. I'll show you what I mean. So, if you look into this image, when I have an input and I get an output, that is zero shot. When I have an input and I go step by step over to the output, chain of thoughts. But when I have input, I can take option one, I can take option two, I can take option three, option four, and n number of options. And look into evaluation of each of the options, and then at the end compare all the options output and decide which was the best one and give the final output to the user. That is called as tree of thoughts. So it is like this is one chain of thought, this is another 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 chain of thought. All these chain of thoughts outputs are compared and the final output comes. So let's try to understand over here. So it is a strategy where the model generates multiple reasoning paths in parallel. It then evaluates or selects the best one. When to use this prompting? When there are multiple possible answers or approaches. When the trade-offs needs to be evaluated for brainstorming, option analysis, or strategic decision making, and for multi-agent or multi-perspective thinking. This is where it can be helpful. Okay, let's start with a prompt. This will make it very clear. So the use case is choosing the project management tool for a small team. Choosing the project management tool for a small team. I say you are a tech advisor helping a startup choose a project management tool. Think of three possible options and reason through their pros and cons depending on team size, 5 people. Important. Depending on what? Team size, ease of use, integration with the Slack, and then pick the best one. So I am asking it only to think, it only to evaluate, and it only to choose the best option. And I am gonna rest. Wake me up when the output comes. I am going to sleep. That is tree of thoughts. So linear. Team size 5 people. Great fit if you're doing this, ease of action, and this. Slack integration. Bottom line, ideal in what scenario? Asana is the second option. When to use it, ease of use, Slack integration, and then you have the bottom line. Then Trello, you have team size, ease of use, Slack integration, and the bottom line. And finally, recommendation. Pick Asana. For a 5 people startup, Asana hits the best balance of ease of use, onboarding is quick, breadth, works for PM, that is project manager, marketing, ops, and Slack integration. It can turn chats into tasks and keep work moving without app switching. If your team is primarily engineers who live in the GitHub and want lightning fast issue tracker, linear would be alternative pick. And if you want the simplest possible board with minimal process, Trello is the easiest start. Interesting. Now, one more. The use case is a customer is evaluating which Oracle Fusion module to implement first. Three are there. Which one to implement first? HCM, financials, procurement. So I'm giving a prompt over here. You are a senior Oracle implementation consultant. A mid-size enterprise wants to adopt Oracle Fusion, but it is unsure about which module to implement first. HCM, financials, or procurement. Explore each option with the following factors: quickest ROI, integration complexity, strategic visibility for the leadership. Present the pros, cons of each path, then recommend the best starting point. Oracle Fusion, quickest ROI, integration complexity, strategic visibility. Pros, cons. Oracle Fusion financials, quickest ROI, integration complexity, strategic visibility, pros and cons. Better read it. Procurement, quickest ROI, integration complexity, strategic visibility, pros and cons. Comparison. Recommendation. For a mid-sized enterprise seeking quickest ROI and long-term scalability, the starting point would be Oracle Fusion Financial Cloud, then phase with procurement and HCM. Financials provide the core data backbone. It delivers highest study. And read this. You only read. Then this is what is this. So when chain of thoughts is applied at various for various options, it becomes tree of thoughts. Are you clear with the difference between chain of thoughts versus tree of thoughts? Everyone, please confirm. Ramani, confirm. Chain of thoughts versus tree of thoughts. So your thinking part, choosing part, everything is taken care of. Good. Others are watching the movie, they will not type why in the chat, else they will have to pick up the hands. So while watching a movie, we are like this, right? Having popcorn. Why will we touch the keyboard to type yes in the chat? So, next one. The next one is the self-consistency prompting. Give me one more. Yes. So self-consistency in prompt engineering is a technique where you ask AI to solve the same problem multiple times and then compare the answers to select the most consistent or the frequent one. This will help improve the reading. So let me make you understand this with the help of an example. With self-consistency, sorry, without self-consistency, your prompt is something like this. You ask, what is 14 multiplied by 12? AI gives you 168. But answer can be wrong also. So what they say is, your prompt must keep on asking this multiple times. So you give inputs again and again and again. What is 14 into 127? You got the output 168. Again ask it 168. You again ask it 172. Again asked it 168. Again asked it 168. Among so many responses, which is the most consistent response? 168. And therefore the final output will be 168. So you keep on asking the same question again and again. Self consistency. So it's like go to ChatGPT, ask it this 168, ask it this 168, ask it this 168. ला फैन बंद कर लाओ आवाज आता. Ask it this 168, ask it this 168. Manu, don't conclude before I'm done with the topic. Ask it 168. Right? So fortunately, all the time I'm getting the same answer because it is ChatGPT 5. So now you have got this. So do you use self-consistency in this scenario? No. Self-consistency is a strategy where you run the prompt multiple times, each time letting the model respond or generates its own chain of thought reasoning. Then instead of taking the final answer, you choose all the answers and pick up the one which is most frequent or logically consistent. The reason why it works is because LLMs are probabilistic in nature. Every time you run the output, your output can be little different. So when you use it when you want to plan your travel itineraries. Let's say you are planning a trip to Manali. You will tell it that, hey, this is my requirement. I'm landing on this date and I'm coming back on this date. I'm traveling with my friends. We are a group of these many people. We love to explore adventurous places, etc., etc. Plan a perfect itinerary for us. And you ask it again and again. When it generates the same output 6, 7 times, you compare all the outputs and find out which output is most consistent and choose that as your final itinerary. So self consistency is something which is useful in that scenario, Manu, and everyone. Right? Not for this. This was an example to quickly understand the concept. But in practical real life, it is useful for itinerary planning. Is that clear to everyone why it is useful in itinerary planning? Yes. So by collecting multiple outputs and aggregating or voting, we can reduce the variance and the hallucinations. This is like running a meeting and choosing the most supported idea, something which you can remember. Running a meeting and choosing the most supportive idea. And that is what is self consistency prompting. Yes. Now, when you start with the agentic AI stuff, you have a React prompting. When you start with the agentic AI stuff, you have the prompting which is called as React. It's not ideally a prompting technique, but it is used by the agents while generating the output. So, React means reasoning and acting. So, in this technique, the model is prompted to think step by step like chain of thoughts. It will decide on action, observe the result, and continue searching. So, think, act, observe. Think, act, observe. Think, act, observe. Think, act, observe again and again till you get satisfactory results. So this is what is chain of this is what is self-consistency prompting. Think, act, observe again and again. So it is not ideally a prompting technique that we try. So the reason it is powerful is because it supports multi-turn real-world problem solving, enables decision and tool invocation and follow-up. It makes the LMS more intelligent assistant, not just completion, and it is a foundation for the agentic system. So, when will you use it? Only for querying tools or APIs. So, not right now important for us, or for accessing external databases or etc. Perform multi-step operations. So, there is no example as such, and forcefully, if I have to give you maybe one example, if I have to give you some forceful examples, then I can think of this. Don't write, but yeah, you are a helpful assistant. Your job is to answer user questions through the following tools. Search tool, which is the Google search. Calculator tool for computing things. And then it will do the thought, action, observation, and repeat as needed. Wait a minute, I'll show you. React prompting. Let's go to images. Question. What is the elevation range for the area that eastern sector of the Colorado orogeny extends into? Thought one, the agent thinks, that I need to search for the Colorado oregano, find the area that the eastern sector of Colorado extends into, and then find the elevation range. So that was the thought. Action is search for the Colorado orogeny. Observation. So Colorado orogeny was an episode of the mountain building in Colorado and surrounding areas. Again, thought. It does not mention eastern sector, so I need to look for the eastern sector. And then action is look up for that. Observation, you see that result one-on-one, eastern sector is this. Thought, eastern sector is this, so I need to search for high plains. And then search for high plains. Then high plain refers to this. And this is how it continues its journey. I'm gonna put that over here. Also, if you look into this, this is what I want you to read by yourself only. I'll also put in over here. You only read it.
And with that, we have come to the end of our course. If you have any doubts or questions, ask them in the comment section below. Our team of experts will reply to you as soon as possible. Thank you and keep learning with Simplilearn.